Dudes, what up? Thanks for listening. I said thanks for listening. What? Oh boy, I only have one listener. I have no idea who that is. Like this old guy. I've been listening for years. Yeah, whatever, dude. See ya. Anyway, I just talked to my buddy Devin. He's out in Tennessee. And man, we had a freaking great talk. Great talk. Coffee talk. And we go over a bunch of stuff. Comic books. We didn't go over toys, which I was kind of upset about. I wanted to talk about all the fun collectible toys, but I'm glad we didn't do that, or else that talk would have been 9 hours long. 9 times. And yeah, we talk about film and a lot of comic book stuff. And it's a joy to talk to him. I miss the guy. I don't get to talk to him all the time. And yeah, it was. I met him when I lived in LA, and we worked at Best Buy together. And we hit it off real quick. He introduced me to some really cool spots, Portillo's. We didn't go over that. He introduced me to Frankensteins. Dude, we went to this one spot, and I can't remember what it was. And I think it was in Redondo Beach. It was this you go it was weird. You go inside this liquor store and you order inside there, and then you come out, then you walk outside and they call your order and you get your food. But dude, it was bomb. I'm trying to remember what it was. I can't remember if it was Hispanic food or dude, you're gonna have to eat, you guys are gonna have to leave a comment, like and subscribe, you know the drill. No, just kidding, don't do that. I mean, do it, but But Devin brings up he has some pretty controversial comments in the geeky nerdy world, and I love it. I was like, yes, thank you, dude. This is why we're so cool. This is why we bond. This is why we click. This is why we Adam Sandler. But it's true. It's like we yeah, he says we talk. Honestly, I don't want to give any spoilers, but yeah, we get into some stuff, and he gives a nice little list, and I was like, oh boy, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I really liked it. Anyway, yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and he's a treasure, and I'm really happy that I can call him a friend. And I miss the guy. I haven't seen him in a long time. I want to say he left LA maybe 2016, maybe 15. One of the Giants won the World Series. 2010. I was there in 2012, 13, 14. I think he might have left in 2015. So I haven't seen him for quite some time. But yeah, it was like nothing. We just got right into it. It was great. Had some issues in the beginning with the audio, but we got it squared away. But this one's a long one. But for anyone that's gonna want to geek out and listen to some nerdy comic book, movies and stuff like that, then stay with it. I think you'll like it. Plus, you'll love the banter between both of us, and honestly, it felt like we were just in a really long car ride, and we both had to pay attention to the road. Right? That's what it felt like. We just we couldn't look at each other in the eye. We were just like, yeah, dude, and yeah, this is crazy. You want to see something really scary? Anyone? Twilight Zone? Okay. Anyway, I really hope you guys like it, and yeah, this was just awesome. Loved it. And I'm trying to set up, just off track, or go off topic, I should say. I'm trying to set up a tour, a podcast tour. I know I'm kind of late in the game, and I'm doing some weird stuff about tours, but I had a show set up in Illinois, in Kankakee, Illinois, but that show has been canceled. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I was supposed to perform at at the Bevix, but I think it might have closed. Just kidding. I don't think that's true. I'm teasing. No, I love Kankakee, Illinois. I hope everyone's doing all right over there. Hopefully this will get out there. To Kankakee, Illinois. Inside joke. Kinda. Anyway, thanks for listening. Please, if you can, instead of texting me, my buddy Devin says, if you have any questions or recommendations or want to know why he said certain things, it's nothing bad. It's nothing bad where it's like, what? I don't. Oh, there's that old guy again. There you go. Hey, what's up, dude? Yeah, if you have any questions about what he said, or want him to explain himself, he says, dude, leave a comment and like and subscribe and yeah, do that. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you guys liked the episode, and I love you guys, and I'm glad you guys are listening, and Cinco Zone time. Yeah, man, that was weird. That was some weird technical weird. Dial-up or whatever you want to call it. Dude.
I forgot I'm in Tennessee, so we actually only use dial-up modems. We only use 56K modems.
Dude, Tennessee time.
Yeah. I'll see you on Tennessee time, bitch.
Dude, to go back what you're saying. Okay, so you said when I left LA to San Jose.
So yeah, that's what I'm wondering. So I guess it's been that long and we're getting that old, right? Like I'm now I'm just man, do you remember when Shelly did this? Dude,
seriously.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's been hitting me hard lately. Like,
yeah.
God, why am I that old,
bro? I think it hit me when I went to go visit. We went this time. We went around this time in February, and dude, it was a trip because I kept telling myself, I was like, dude, I've only been gone for about 3 years. And then I can't remember. I think it was Josh. And Josh was like, no, dude, you've been gone for about like 4 years, if that, maybe more. And I was like, whoa, dude, I just tripped out. I was like super sad about it. Yeah, man, it's weird.
I know. I think I'm about to hit the time in Tennessee as long as I was in LA. Like, and that's just mind blowing.
Have you found anything over there that, like, in terms of like the same magic as like the comic bug or Frankensteins?
So, dude, I knew you were gonna ask that, right?
Of course.
Like, of course, that's the first thing I was thinking of too. And I'll say this, like, I think in that world, right? Just that world, there's always that underlying feeling and spark to it. Even if it's not like the world's best representation, it's always there, right? Like a backwoods Tennessee version of a Frankensteins is still gonna have that, like, that just feeling you get, right? That euphoric, like, this is my place. And
right.
And so there's a couple of things here. There's a place around here where I'm at in Nashville called and I think they actually have a couple in Tennessee, but it's called McKay's. And it's dude, it's wild. If you and the lady ever make it out here, obviously that's where we're gonna first meet. Dude, it's wild. It's like, imagine every Saturday garage sale you've ever been to, and someone's like, dude, you know what? If I just bought a 2-story building and did this all day, it'd be pretty sweet. Like, and it's just records and comics and CDs and tapes and toys, board games, just stacks and stacks of books, right? Like, I'll take some pictures next time I'm there, and I love it, dude. I go anytime I can, and the girlfriend freaking hates it. She gets so bored because I'll be in there from sun up to sundown.
Oh, I bet.
Like, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just, oh man. It's like, this is gonna be the dumbest explanation. The Ace Ventura scene when he's eating on the zebra, and he's like pops his head up, looks around, and goes back to what he's doing. That's me. I pop up for air every few moments, and the next thing you know, I'm somewhere else in there looking around. Like,
when is that place open? Every when?
No, it's open just all day, every day.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And that's it. And so people go in and just trade in stuff. and they have like half of the bottom floor is just where people go to sell and trade in and get rid of stuff, and then just turn around and they sell it, and it's wild, man. Like, so that place is real cool. When I first moved out here, I transferred to a Best Buy, right,
Yeah.
and I met a guy named Patrick Zambrano. He was at that time he was one of the assistant managers, and
Mm.
we clicked right off the bat, obviously, because we were just talking about Star Wars and
Oh.
comics and all this stuff, as per
Oh
usual, right?
yeah. That's the
And
that's the end. That's the end right
yeah,
there.
that's
Yeah.
the end right there, right? And so I ended up transferring to another Best Buy, actually a couple of different Best Buys, and he ended up leaving the company after a while,
Oh
and
wow.
he opened his own comic book store.
Oh
And
whoa.
so, yeah. And so, just right off the bat, I was like, whoop, there it is. And, the only problem is like he opened it like from where I was living, like on the exact opposite side of the city. And so,
Oh.
that's and Nashville compared to LA, it's different, man. Like it's
Oh, for
different.
sure.
I'm still adjusting to things that I say and do and how I perceive things that people are like, you're not from around here, right? Like I get that question a lot.
Wow.
Uh, like, okay, you could probably attest to this. In LA, it's not distance isn't anything, right? It's time. Like I always was just like, oh yeah, it'll take you about 20 minutes to get there. Take you about 40 minutes to get there. Because
Right.
like 2 miles doesn't mean anything. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that means nothing, right? If I'm on Sepulveda Boulevard, that doesn't mean anything if it's, rush hour. And so I still can't get out of that mindset. So people, like, oh, well, how far do you live from here? And I'll be like, oh, it's about 30 minutes. And I'll be like, when? And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, like what time of day? I'm like, yeah, okay. No, I guess it's like 18 miles. I don't know. I haven't had to do that in a long time.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah. So,
That's
but
trippy.
yeah, it's weird. It's a real cultural adjustment, and I still haven't done it well. The other thing is, I obviously still talk way too fast. Dude, I used to get in so much trouble at my like one of my stores where I would just start talking, and people all the time would just be like, "Okay, I didn't understand any of that. You're gonna have to slow down." And
Oh.
I can't tell you how many times how that happened, and I would
Yeah.
just get that defeated look in my face, like, and people would just laugh, like, "Oh, geez."
That's so
I don't want to
funny, man.
stereotype, but it does, it happens. But yeah, so there's a couple of shops around here. My buddy's shop is real great, but it's just not the same. It's not the same because like the culture around it is so small.
Mm.
Um, where in LA, and I don't want to say, obviously it wasn't the biggest thing, but you have so many people in such a small place, and it's so easy to kind of find a community, right? That's pretty diverse.
Right.
And out here, it's a lot more spread out just physically, and so it's not as congregated. And so while it might live and breathe and it happens, it's just not a thing. I went to Nashville is one of the quote unquote the jewels of the South, right? It's a big city, and it's a growing city.
Yeah.
And but this was probably 20 oh man, probably 2016, 2017 was the last comic convention I was at in Nashville. They only had one. It was a Wizard World of all things. Like
Oh, whoa.
that's like
Okay.
yeah, that's the trailer park of comic conventions. So apologies to anybody from Wizard World who's listening in on this, but like, it's true. Like they're just, oh man. And I went with Mike. You remember Mike from the comic book, right?
Yeah, of
Um,
course. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He hit me up. He and his buddy and my friend Raphael, they do a comic called Guns Ablazing, and they were going on a tour, and that's how we got hooked up on that. It's like he reached out. He's like, "Dude, we're coming to Nashville. Do you want to work with us at the thing? We'd love to have you. Like we need a good road manager." And I was like, "Dude, of course." And
Yeah.
so we went to the show, and Nashville's no like there's no shortage of places to do events. This is a music city,
Yeah.
and they picked the Music City Center, which is this just sprawling, massive building, and they only got like one floor and like one small room, and I'm not kidding you. we were the only independent comic book like publisher there. Like we were the only representation of an
Wow.
actual published book. The only other comic representation was about 4 booths of people reselling comics. Everything else was like art, which is great. You know, you have some. I found some amazing local artists,
Yeah.
um, but half of it, if not more, of the room was photo ops for things like get your picture taken with the General Lee. Can't make that up. Like, like it was there was like a booth where people were getting like tattoos.
What?
There was, and then it was like all like remember at Frankensteins, all the booths that sell like buy these shields and swords and
Oh,
like
dude,
airsoft
yes,
guns.
of
It
course.
was that. It
Wow.
was that, and so I was just like, man, like that's kind of a bummer. There was only one comic book artist there that I would say was quote famous. A guy I adore. His name was is Jerome Pena, and he was there at a table. And dude, I've been to a lot of comic conventions, man. I've been to a lot of shows. I've been to the backyard shows. I've been to the Comic Con, right?
Yeah.
This was like the saddest setup. It was just a
Oh.
folding table with his name like on a piece of paper taped to it, and he had some prints that were like for the show, and a couple of they did a reprint of Walking Dead #1 with a special cover for the show, and that was it. And like that was it. Like nobody knew who
Wow.
this dude was, and I was just like, man. And so, it was just it's that right. Like it might, there were people there that you could tell were just man, they were so excited, and for some, like that was it. Like this was like the mecca, and I was just like, man, like if only somebody who has known what it can be helped grow and nurture it more in this area as this city continues to grow, it would be huge. It's like seeing prime real estate 5 years before anybody decides to move there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and you just passed on. You're like, oh, it's so ready to be like built up.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. I was gonna
yeah.
say, have you ever thought about trying to do that?
So I would love to, and this as somebody who's so as like that's like so important to me, right? Like, and it's just where do you begin, right? And
Yeah.
I guess where you begin is getting the stones to get off the couch and go do it. But I should, and we should find people. Pre-pandemic, I'd seen a advertisement for. I think they were trying to do like an alternate convention. They were going to call it like the Music City Comic Con or something like that. And obviously, a lot of that got put on hold, and who knows where it's at now. It's not run by one of the larger companies like your Reed Pop or your San Diego Comic Cons, and so it's hard to know how could they survive. But
Yeah.
I'm hopeful and see. But I would love to. It'd be great. Because there's when you want to do it right, there's just certain things, right? And more
Yeah.
than anything, it's you just got to walk in. We went to WonderCon together, right? It's
Dude, that was intense.
right, but beyond like the scale of it, because the scale doesn't have to be what's the deciding factor. It's that feeling, right? When you walk in, what's that feeling that you immediately get? And it's hard to quantify that for people, and it's also hard to put that into a business plan. But like that's the thing where I probably said it to you for years, and I know I said it to like Mark, and then I was like, guys, you got to go, and then you'll get
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
I don't know.
I think the thing that I don't know, I guess you can say it kind of spoiled me was going to Frankensteins. Dude, seriously. Like I mean, you were the one that told me about it. And dude, I still remember my first visit. I remember you saw me freaking
Yeah.
nerd out, dude. And I was like, what the? Dude, I didn't even know. Dude, I couldn't. I just remember you telling me, and I think this is what everyone thinks when you first explain it to them. I was like, oh, it's a little swap meet or like a flea market or something. And you were like, no, dude, it's much more than that.
Yeah.
And I kind of
Yeah.
I kind of downplayed a little bit too. I started to do that. Like, both my cousins came, and I took them over there. And dude, the rule that I have is, dude, walk all the aisles first before you throw your
Yes.
money down, because somebody else might have it, or you might see something there that you're like, I should have
Yep.
waited and spent my money on this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why did I
dude.
wait?
Oh man, and dude, even my cousin was like, dude, I want to go down there for the weekend and just and
Yeah.
spend all my money there, and I was like, dude, they moved their new location. Mark said I think Mark went, and he said
Oh, to the new one?
yeah. And he said, "Yeah, it still feels good in there." And I was like, "Okay,
That's good.
that's good."
Well,
Yeah,
but that's the testament to it, right? It's not a building, right? You know, it's not a booth or a place. And while it was cool, you know, it's not that. It's just like how it operates, and there's just
yeah,
a feeling to it, you know.
yes.
And you know, like I've said it 1,000 times. Like the you know, my favorite show that I go to almost every year, obviously pre-pandemic, is C2E2 in Chicago.
Oh yeah,
And
that's right.
it's to me, if anybody was ever like, hey man, I just want to go to a show, I really want to know what it's like, so many people are like, oh, go to San Diego Comic-Con, right? Or oh dude, go to New York Comic-Con, it's huge.
Oof.
And those are great,
Yeah,
those are great, but that is not, I would tell you, dude, go to C2E2. Or even my close second would be, dude, go to WonderCon,
yeah,
right? Like, because they're proof that you get the same awesome, just euphoric feelings, and like this, it takes you to that moment, right? Like everybody, I hope, at some point in their life has had that moment as a kid, that even though you might not remember what it was that perfect moment. You got the perfect gift, right? Or the
right.
perfect like toy, or you had the perfect birthday party or something, where you just had that moment. You're like, yeah, like you rode that high, and then you're chasing that dragon for the rest of your life. Right? And to me, that's like, that's as close as I can get as a person, is when I go to some of those shows. And that's how I gauge them, is like, not what comics did I get or what people did I meet, but like, did I feel that feeling
Yeah,
more often than not? And Chicago is just, man, C22 has just killed it every year. It is always a blast. It's just the people, and you know, the stories you end up getting, you know, whether it be famous people you meet, or you know, just some of the coolest, you know, I've made friends of just people I've met, whether it be in line waiting for someone, or you know, one year I was working a booth, and a girl came up and was, looking at some of the stuff we were selling, and I noticed a book that she was carrying, and I was like, "Hey, I don't know if you know this, but that guy, the artist who did that, is about 3 aisles over on the right. He did a sketch for me a little bit ago, because I was just chit chatting, and like
yeah,
watching her face, you know what I mean? Like, just like, that's a thing. Like, what?" And dude, she just beelined it.
yeah.
And then later in the show, she came over and she's like, "This is the best thing that's happened at the show." Like, you know what I mean? And like,
Oh,
those things, like, just
yeah.
by proxy, that was a moment that I'll never forget, you know, and it didn't have anything to do with me.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
so cool,
So
man.
yeah,
Eh,
it's cool that like, that you guys, you know, that's one of my favorite things, is like, you know, we had like you guys, like you and Mark and everybody, right? Like, I got to share in some of those moments with you guys, and like, those are things, that's chasing that dragon of that euphoric moment, is if I can't experience it, watching other people that like you love and care about experience it. Oh man, it's so cool, right?
dude,
Like, it's so cool.
dude, I still, dude, going back to Frankenstein's, or no, no, what was it? No, I can tell you. I mean, you got me into some weird addictions, man. One was comics, which was,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
I still remember my experience with it in terms of going to the comic bug, because it's intimidating, man. It's really
Oh, it
intimidating.
is.
And oh, dude, I can't remember who helped me.
It was
Um,
probably Mike, honestly. If anybody,
no,
like,
dude, it wasn't.
dude lived and breathed the comic book, always there, you know, just long hair, and just like probably playing Nirvana or something on the radio, or you know, it was
No,
just,
it's the
if not him, it might have been June. Like, could have
um.
been, trying to think who else. There was Ben.
I think
Ben
it
was
was.
kind of
I
the
think it
younger
was.
guy.
I think it was Ben.
Yeah, it might have been Ben.
I think
Yeah.
he runs the other comic bug.
Yeah, I think he does now too. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, dude. I just remember going over there. I remember going into the store first and bugging you and being like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the comic bug," and you're like, "Oh, cool, dude. Oh, you're gonna have a great time." And I was like, "Okay." And I, dude, I remember driving over there and I was thinking it was gonna be like a little hole in the wall. And dude,
Right.
it's a pretty pretty big store, and so I was pumped. I
Yeah,
was like,
man.
whoa, okay. And everything was laid out on the walls, right? Like all the
Yep.
featured stuff and all the
Yep.
what do you call it on the very top shelf? The
Oh yeah, yeah, like your premium variants, like up
variants.
there.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. And dude, I was in there for I spent way too much. I didn't have anything in my hands. I was just kind of like looking at everything, absorbing everything. And what was his name? He was Ben.
Yeah, Ben.
Ben,
Yep.
dude, he comes up to me and he was like, "What's up, man? You been here for a little bit? You looking for something?" And I was like, "Dude, this is my first time here, and I don't know what to get." And then he's like, "What do you want to read?" I was like, "I don't know, man." I was like, "I don't know."
Yeah,
I was
the
like, my
hardest question ever.
yeah, dude. I was like, and then and then I melted. I was like,
You probably look like Kevin McAllister,
oh,
like at the counter when she's like, "Is this approved by the Food and Dental Association?" And the like, what's his name walks up with the glove.
oh. Dude, I didn't know. It was just such a weird like, dude, I'm not sure.
But it is. It's intimidating. You said it best. That's the best
Yeah,
word.
and dude, a lot of them will be like, "All right, dude, I'll be over here if you need help," or and a lot, and those are
Yep.
kind of, and Mark even said like, he goes, "Dude, I went to this one in Torrance, and dude, they were just so mean to you, like they just didn't care," and I was like, "Well, I can see that, I can see
Yep.
why, it's
Oh
just
yeah.
kind of like, oh, whatever, but Ben like was like, oh, okay, and I was like, what have you read so far? And I was like, well, my buddy Devin, and he's like, Mahoney, Devin. And he's like, "Oh man, anyone that's a friend of Devin's, we're good." And I was like, "Oh, okay, okay." And he's like, "Yeah, he had me read Deadpool Gauntlet. Like he let
Oh
me borrow a
yeah.
copy, and I read. I thought it was hilarious." He goes, "Okay, okay." So dude, he just started, and I just remember him just starting to stack stuff on my hands. Right, just here, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
gonna love this. Oh, this is the Star Wars, and this. Oh, and check out this Deadpool. Oh, you already read Gauntlet. Here, take this one. This. And I was like, dude, I must have had like 10, maybe 15 things in my hand, and then I was like, I think I'm just gonna get these. And I grabbed like two of them, and he was like,
Yeah.
no, no.
Right.
He goes, where's your stack? I was like, that's right there. I felt. He goes, no, no, take it. And then I was like,
Dude.
no, no, it's okay. No, I'm gonna stay. He goes, no, 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 here, take it. And he goes, it's on me, man. You're good. And I was like, what? And dude, I just remember just like, I was like, dude, no, I gotta give you guys. And he goes, no, 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 no. And I remember him pointing to his arm and doing like he goes, that'll be your fix. Like,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And I was like, no. And dude, I remember going back, like every pay
Yep.
period, just going back over there and picking
Yep.
something up. Yeah, man, that
Yeah.
place was
I love it.
magical.
It's so funny because that story is so familiar. Remember Josh from Best Buy out there, right? Dude, Magnolia
Yes.
Josh.
Yes.
Dude, same exact story. Same exact story. Like, even my first experience was very similar. So, I'd been into comics for years as a kid. When I was a little kid, my grandma bought me, a bunch of rant. Just I was a kid. They were shiny. They were cool. They were weird. Right. I was super into Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers. So anything that was like action packed, dude, I was in. No storylines mattered. And moved away and stuff, like, I was a broke college kid. I couldn't afford comics, dude. Like
Mm-hmm.
I could have barely afford the food. Looking back now, by the way, just as a segue, looking back, have you ever thought about, like, dude, how was I even alive? Like, with the amount of
Dude.
money, like, I don't even physically know how I survived. How did I afford rent and food? When I think about, like, there were times where, like, the paycheck going into my bank account was probably the only money that I had. Like,
Are you talking about?
wild.
You mean when you were in LA or in college?
No, this was like even before LA.
Oh
Like before
wow.
LA, like when I was in college in Orlando, like I moved away from home and I was like, I'm gonna go to school. Dude, I was working part time at a Radio Shack, making
Oh
bare minimum wage. Like, how in the world I was alive? Anyway, but like, so I certainly couldn't afford comic books, and so I would have to find find ways to read them online. So anybody
yeah,
from Marvel or DC, I'm sorry, I've paid it back in full.
yeah.
Um,
Seriously.
yeah, I paid it back, I promise. But I wanted to read up on stories, and at that time, dude, it wasn't nearly as easy as it is nowadays. These kids nowadays with their iPads and the Kindles,
Oh, dude, it's
so
insane. Yeah,
um,
dude. The
right,
DC
but
app, it's
oh,
crazy.
dude, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Comixology, Marvel Now, all that. But so when I got out to LA, I was like, I just really want to get back into it. And I distinctly remember the book that I wanted to get, like what was like, man, I think I want to get back in was Rick Remender relaunched, I want to say it was like 2010, relaunched Venom. They took like a short story out of the back of one of the Amazing Spider-Mans, Flash Thompson. He was like, became a war vet and lost his legs. And Remender and Tony Moore, guy who did a bunch of art on The Walking Dead, and Danny Miki, like a great colorist, they relaunched Venom. And I was reading about it, and I was like, dang, it's been a long time since I've read a good Venom book. Man, like, I want to read this. And so I started looking for a comic book shop. Lo and behold, right down the block was the Comic Bug.
Nice.
And I'll tell you, dude, I was the same way. I was so intimidated. I was like, it
dude.
has been years. And my last experiences they were kind of like Mark was saying, like, dude, super passionate fans, I'm not going to say everyone, but on the whole, tend to be the meanest people.
Oh, yeah.
And we could probably talk at length about that.
Dude.
But like, it just, for some reason, and like, it's just like, man, they're so protective of something that, why? Like, wouldn't you want more people to share in things that are so wonderful to you?
Yeah.
But whatever. And so I was so intimidated. I was so scared. And I was like, okay, I just got to go in there and tell them how do I pre-order this book? I don't want to miss it, right? And so I walked in and I did the same thing. I was just like, shoulders scrunched, like, Charlie Browning around, like not making eye contact. I'm like, oh. And I'm like, all right, getting up the courage. And then Mike Wellman, dude, like, you know that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Just, bro, what's up, man?
Yes.
Like, what are you looking for? Welcome. And same thing to you. I was like, oh, like, I don't know what to do. And so I just told him, I was like, hey, listen, I'm really interested in this book. He's like, oh, that's so good. And so before I could even finish my sentence, he's like, you love that, dude, you should check this out, blah, 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 right? And same thing. I had the same experience, just this, you're going to love this. Bro, what have you read? And then handing me books, and he's just like, no. Like, don't. Just take it, and if you don't like it, bring it back. That's totally cool. I was just like,
wow.
Oh, okay. And so, like, I walk out of there, and I think, like, the first words I could say were probably, like half a mile as I'm walking back home, like, hey, thanks, man. Like, wait a minute, what? Did I black out? Like,
seriously.
And yeah, and so I was hooked. I was sold, and and I was like, that's what it should be, right? Like, for anything, forget comics, forget.
Oh yeah.
It should just be that whatever you do. And I remember you took me to a shop. God, I can't remember the name of it now.
Pulp Fiction.
I think so. The one we walked in, it's like in the middle. It's like kind of like yeah,
in Culver City. It's right.
Yeah, dude, like, I had the same experience there. Like, I love that shop, man.
Yeah.
Like, those guys were super cool. Like, they were just like, it felt warm and like familiar, and like, you just wanted to be there. If you didn't have stuff to do, you wanted to hang out.
Dude, hey, so much Lobo. So much Lobo.
So much, dude. I just got a Lobo comic the other day.
Do you remember that though? We were going through all the boxes, and it was like, dude, they have so much Lobo.
There's so much Lobo. Like, dude, how many people started and ended their career with Lobo?
God, dude.
Yeah, I almost sent it to you the other day. I picked up a Mike Mignola variant of a Lobo comic, and I was like, this dude does Hellboy, but here's Lobo. It's so funny. Dude. It's so like, how the mighty have fallen.
Oh man, dude. Hey, dude, you know what? Okay, so from what I remember was you gave me or you had me read Deadpool Gauntlet. It was like, I don't know how many issues there were, but it was like one.
I think it was like one or two, because it was like a mid-story, like side story, like segue thing. Yes. Like, they did it in the middle of an ongoing Deadpool story.
Okay. And I don't think I read any of the other issues. I think I only read that one, and it was like super silly, and I remember cracking up, and I was like, what the hell's wrong with me? I've never had that before. I was laughing when I was reading. I was like, it's cool. And I remember giving it back, and you go, this is a big spoiler, so if nobody's seen it, then fast forward like maybe a couple minutes. But,
I think the statute of limitations is hopefully past at this point.
Oh, no, dude, you'll be surprised. You're going to know what I'm talking about as soon as I say it. But, dude, you were like, dude, have you watched any of the DC comic or cartoon movies? And I was like, no. Right? I was like completely unaware. I mean, I watched the Batman animated series, but I never watched any of
Yep.
the movies, right? And he
Yep.
goes, and I remember you were like, dude, and he goes, you got to come over. And I remember going over to your place, and dude, you had me borrow uh Flashpoint.
Oh God, dude, so good.
Dude, I remember you were like, dude, watch it. Whether you come into work or you come over, he goes, dude, we got to talk about it. And I was like, okay.
Yep.
I was like, okay. And dude, I remember watching the whole thing, and dude, normally I would grab my phone or something, I get kind of distracted, but dude, I was like so immersed in the whole
Just
story, being like, whoa.
just
And
jaw on the floor, right?
yes, and I love the whole like uh multi, different universe and going
Yep.
to the past, whatever it is. And dude, I think the part that gets me every time, spoiler, is the very end, dude, when his dad, or sorry, not his dad, when Flash gives Batman that
Yep.
note.
The letter. Yep.
Oh, dude, and I remember just tearing up.
It just crushes you, dude.
Yes, dude, because you've always heard the story of Batman and what happened to his parents, but then seeing like this different story, and then
Yep.
somebody meeting your dad and then giving him something. Oh, dude, even I'm gonna stop talking.
I
I'm
know.
gonna start to
I'm
tear
getting
up.
goosebumps right now.
Oh
Like, dude,
yeah,
it just hits you so
yes,
hard. It just
dude.
crushes you
Yeah,
because you're like, because first off, anybody in the world who doesn't, I've had this argument with so many people. Dude, Batman is the clinical case. Bruce Wayne has the worst PTSD of all time, and people are like, no, bro. I'm like, dude, that dude is PTSD'd out. Like,
oh,
it should be a case study. And so, like, seeing that this dude who is literally struggling for, and don't get me wrong, Batman is like in my number one or two, like constantly of all time characters, right? Like I'm gonna be that guy. So like I love him to death in every iteration, but like, yeah, dude has mental illness out the wazoo, and so like something like that like just brings it down to a level you were not expecting, right? Just it's like somebody opened up your chest and said, "Oh, nice, dude," and then just heart punched you as hard as they could.
dude, I never put that together.
Oh yeah, dude.
PTSD.
It is. I mean, come on, man. Like, it's like a clinical like example of like how it's not one. It's not everybody exactly acts the exact same, right? But this dude is straight suffering from PTSD. Like
Yeah.
it is bad, and and that's why like to me that's what makes him such a prolific character is like when most would turn, when most would go the other way or see things, he just pushes in. And it's because of this trauma that he's experienced that made him who he is. Like it forces him to push into it because otherwise he's going to be facing the demons that he doesn't want. Like any external demon is less damaging and less terrifying than the internal demons.
Dude, I never put that together. I have
It's
no
rough,
idea
man.
why. Wow.
Rough.
Poor
Yeah.
Batman, dude.
I know, but then it also bleeds into like other things, right? Like we're gonna get real nerdy here. Like I think I probably had you watch or you've watched at some point the Justice League Doom, right? And it's the story of where the League of Legion of Doom like gets the contingency plans on like how to deal with each member of the Justice League, right? And like
It,
spoiler alert for anybody, sorry, like they find out that it was Batman's contingency plans. He was the one who built the plans of how
right.
he would stop every single member of the Justice League and like contain them. And there's this big, again, spoiler, this big confrontational moment where they like realize that and they're like,
Yes.
dude, you should feel bad about this. And he goes, if you didn't think that was something I was going to do, that's on you. And like, dude, you're just like, what just happened? He like has no
Wow.
remorse. And he's like, absolutely not. He's like, the fact that you didn't think to do that means that you're weak. And like, Jesus, man. And that's
It,
like his trusted co-founders of this Protect the World and Universe League. He's like, I don't trust a single one of you.
dude, is that the same one with that caveman? Or
Yes. Yep. Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I watched that with you. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
wrong.
I feel like
Or maybe let me
we may
borrow it.
have.
Yeah, because I remember being like, "Whoa!" I remember tripping out from that, like him figuring out everyone's weakness. That's right. Okay, I
Yep.
think I get that mix. Okay, right. That is
Yeah,
more
like
okay.
he got the Flash like stuck in like this like using his speed. He got his arm stuck in like this like wrist bomb basically, and like if he didn't continue to move at the right speed, like he basically had to run until he died, like
Oh my
that type of
god.
thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like yeah, and like Martian Manhunter, like you know, he got him like lit on fire, but like it was like messing with his mind. Like it's just all these wild things, and like, but again, you know, it gets to the point where they're like, holy crap, like where do these people get the plans? Oh, they got it from Batman, right? And then they're like, okay, you should feel bad. And he's like, you should feel bad for not thinking about it. Like, dude, that screams trauma. Like that's abusive.
Wow.
That's somebody who's messed up.
Dude.
And at the,
I
and the
gotta
same
go back
time,
and watch that. Yeah.
right?
I gotta
At the
go
same
back
time,
and watch that.
he's not wrong.
No.
Yeah, you should.
No, you're right. Yeah, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but it's
Yeah.
like, dang, man, why would you even? How does your brain process something like that unless you have just been really messed up?
And plus, you know what, dude? I mean, I think the big thing is, well, I think everyone within that group has some sort of superpower. And for him, I
Yep.
mean, does he? Or is he just really
No,
smart? You know?
he's just
So,
really smart, and
yeah.
he's super traumatized, so he can use his smarts in a way that most people wouldn't.
Yeah. I
his
guess that
ability,
I
his
guess that makes sense.
superpower is suppression. That's what it is.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
what was
yeah.
he first when he was first brought on? He was a detective, right?
Yeah,
That was the whole thing?
I mean,
Okay.
that's what they first started was Detective Comics number 27, I think it was. Is, you know, that's him on the cover and he's swinging and there's a guy on the roof with like a gun. You know, it's that yellow background.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the world's greatest detective. Yeah, they never said he was a superhero, but you know, over the years, people like, dang, this guy's cool, right? Like, you know, he's relatable. He's a normal, not normal. He's super rich, but like he's relatable, right? Like he's
Yeah.
a dude, you know, running around with, you know, people with guns and stuff, and he's, you know, the person that everybody probably says they want to be but would never act on, because we've never watched our parents gunned down in Murder in Crime Alley, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, who knows? So, but yeah, you know, he's brought on as that, and then he gets wrapped into all these ridiculous stories where you're fighting otherworldly gods, and it's a dude who's wearing a suit and flies like with like falling with style. He Buzz Lightyears everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting, man. But you know, it's one of those things like it's just so good, right? Like the mediums, no matter how you get it, whether you're reading it or watching it, like that's why I love comics. And even if it's not superheroes, I've probably, if I had to guess, I've probably talked your ear off at length about books that have nothing to do with the capes, right, or the soups. You
Right,
know,
right.
it's
Yeah.
like just
Yeah, you got me into reading Saga. That was really good.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
like a Star
yeah.
Wars Romeo and Juliet type story from what I remember.
Right.
Dude, I never got to finish it. East of West.
That's man, that book. That book,
Dude.
if anybody out there is listening and has never heard what that, just okay, clear your mind and then just go check out the first few issues, and then after you've sat there for 10 minutes going, what, just keep
Dude,
going.
that's how I felt when I read that first trade, dude. I remember
Yeah,
I think you let me borrow it, or I think I have it. I think I
yeah,
bought
I
it.
think you have it. I think because I have the singles, like the floppies for
Right.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I picked up the trade and I just was like, "What the hell?" And you were like, "Dude, I can't answer any of it."
I know. Honestly, I still can't probably.
Prove yourself.
Not gonna
I
lie, I
must.
probably still
Yeah,
can't.
dude.
Exactly. Dude,
Gosh,
that's so
dude.
funny you say that. My girlfriend and I are rewatching all the way through Lost right now.
Oh, dude.
I'm okay. All
We're
right, I'm gonna get. If you have a comment section on this, is gonna be the podcast that you're gonna have the hate section.
Oh
So
no.
like, just do it. Like load it up, get ready for it, because I'm gonna probably say some stuff as we keep going. Like
Spoiler.
it's gonna be like, why? Who? Somebody killed that dude. No, it's probably like that guy's an idiot. Why is he still alive? Like, I never finished Lost. I watched it 3 times and never watched the last season
Oh
because I
wow.
always just get exhaustion. I'm like, oh, all right,
Yeah.
you know, like the first 2 seasons, I will put up against a lot of television
Oh,
shows as
dude.
like,
Yep.
bam, right? And there's just somewhere, and even now I'm still having a hard time putting my finger on the moment
Ooh.
that it's like, and I think that moment for me, as I'm watching it probably now for the fourth time, is when they say we got to move the island, and I was like, right, spoiler.
Oh, it gets cheesy,
Um,
right? Or it gets
and,
weird,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I don't want to say cheesy, but yeah, it definitely gets cheesy.
Yeah.
Um, and you know, I just never finished it. I'm one of those people. I shouldn't be, but like you got me, and if you've got me, I'm in. But
Yeah.
like, it doesn't take a ton to get me to be like, all right, I gotta take a break. And
Right.
so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do it this time. She'd heard about it. There's been so many pop culture references and stuff. I've made her watch and things. Like she's like, I have no idea. I've never seen Lost. So, you know what? Screw it. Like let's watch it. At least you'll get to see the first 2, 3 seasons that
Oh,
are just
dude.
balling out of control, right? Like, and so it's funny you say that because all the time now I'll walk around the house and I'll say previously on. Like if she's down getting a snack, I'll be previously on. Sarah's got a snack. Like it's just like, dude, shut up.
Previously on Lost, dude. I loved that.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
what
do
it
too.
is, dude. I always love that.
Previously
Previously,
on, you're supposed to take out the trash. Like, dude, it's so fun because it's so stupid.
dude. I showed Alicia the uh the show, and she loved it. She loved, and then she just thought it was too intense, like a lot of the scenes. So she's been like,
Okay.
so since she's been working at home, she'll she'll work out, and we have like little the bike, like the workout bike. So she throws it
Yeah.
on for like that whole hour, and then that's like part of her. That's like her workout. But dude, she's rewatching it again, and she's been messaging me. And dude, I only watched it once and all the way through, but I caught episodes here and there. But she goes, do you remember the episode? Da, 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 da. I'm like, oh, dude, I gotta rewatch it again. I gotta rewatch it. And I just forgot. I just completely forgot. But I still remember my favorite
Right.
episode. Wait, how far are you into it with her?
So we are fifth season, fifth season again, and so this like it's the sixth season I've never seen. Like
Okay,
I've just always stopped. Like again, I just couldn't push myself to like finish all the way through.
okay,
And so I'm like, this time I'm gonna do it. Like we're gonna do it.
okay. Because dude, I remember having this conversation with my cousin Chucky, because he loves the show. And I
Yeah.
remember we talked, and I told him, I texted him, I was like, hey, I finished the show, and dude, he called me, and then we started talking about it, and he goes, what was your favorite episode? And dude, this one's really weird. This is a really weird episode, but
Okay.
it's I can't remember the title, but it was with the two people. Well, yeah, it was two people that were on the plane that were a couple, and they were con artists. And
Okay.
dude,
Yeah. Yeah. I
and
remember that.
they had
Yeah.
it
With
was
the
just an
diamonds, I
episode
think.
dedicated to them,
Yeah. 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 I remember, dude. It's weird. That's a good episode.
dude.
It
And
comes out of nowhere.
yes, and dude, my cousin was like, "That's my favorite episode. That's my favorite." He goes, "Dude," I was like, "Dude, it felt like a Twilight Zone." Because towards
Yeah.
the end, like they start throwing the dirt on the
Yep.
couple,
Yep.
and then the eye
Yep.
just opens up, and spoiler, and I was
Dude.
like, "Oh,
Yep.
dude, it's so good."
Yep.
Yeah. Now I gotta watch it again.
Oh
Gosh
yeah.
darn it, freaking
I
Lost, dude.
know, I know, and that's the thing. It's like it's not hard to get me back in to be like, I should rewatch that. Like I've done it so many times, and every time I'm like, yes, 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 let's do that. But
Gosh,
then I'm like, again, like it gets weird and stuff, and you just got to power through it.
yeah.
Have you ever seen or heard or read any of the comparisons about it that they're actually X-Men characters?
Oh my gosh, no. Is that for real?
Yeah. Okay, so Brian K. Vaughan is a big comic book writer, was a co-producer on that show forever.
Oh man.
And
Oh
so
dude,
if you
you're about
go
to
back,
mind explode me. Okay,
I'm
let's hear
about
it.
to.
Let's hear it.
So I'm not gonna go super in depth because like spoiler alert, there might be things, and I've got to I've got to watch the sixth season to like get that like
Oh,
where I can finally say yes, this conspiracy theory is right. But like, dude, okay, John Locke is Professor Xavier, like without question. Like
oh my
he's got
gosh.
this
Okay.
weird friendship with the what you would be the bad guy, right? Which is Xavier's always had that friendship with Magneto, right?
Yes.
Dude, Juliet is 1,000% Emma Frost. Like, just so
Is that
she's this
Freckles?
like
No.
no, Emma Frost is from the Hellfire Club.
Oh no,
She's like
no,
the blonde bombshell.
no. Who's Juliet? Which one's
Oh,
Juliet?
Juliet is the she's the others that was like brought to the island to like make like all the women kept dying because they were pregnant, right? Spoilers.
Oh, yes, yes,
Um,
yes. Okay, okay, yes.
right. So
Okay.
she's 1,000% Emma Frost because she's like good, she's bad, she's good, she's bad. Like she's like this blonde, pretty chick that you can't trust, but she comes from this weird like club of people that you definitely don't trust. But like she's part of the team, and then she's not. She switches sides. Like dude, and that, but like one guy keeps vouching for her all the time, Jack, which right, like is the same
Yes.
thing Cyclops used to do all the time. Ben is 1,000% Magneto, right? He's like this leader. He's like feared. He conceals like his identity and his powers and like all his knowledge and stuff, right? Like,
Is that Linus?
Yeah, Ben
Okay,
Linus,
okay, right. Okay. Oh, that's right, Ben Linus. Okay.
right? Yep. Remember he like stole Rousseau's daughter, right?
Yes.
Magneto definitely did that. Like, dude, it's just wild stuff. I'm trying to think. Oh, Jack is Cyclops. He's like the clean cut, like, dude, we're gonna lead this team, but he's like super messed up and flawed, and like, as an observer, you're like, why does everybody follow this dude? Like, but like, he's like their fearless leader. He loses his dad. He's got all these family problems. Like, he keeps vouching for Juliet, who is not to be trusted. Dude, it's wild. Like it's
Oh my
absolutely wild.
gosh.
Yeah.
That's so much
Sawyer.
fun.
Sawyer is Wolverine.
Oh, dude. I can
Yep.
see it.
Yeah. So, I mean, dude, Wolverine's real name is James Howlett, right? So they call him James. Remember, his real name isn't Sawyer; it's James.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So there's like this, like you can go online and just go like do that Wikipedia thing where you just like go in a rabbit hole, right? But I was talking to a friend a while ago about that, and it just like that glass shattering thing, remember
Dude,
from
that's
How I
what
Met Your Mother?
dude, right. Dude, I do that at work. I had to tell somebody that and dude, everyone at my work only has seen like Friends or right, and I'm like, "Oh, do you guys watch How I Met Your Mother?"
Joey.
Dude, I'm like, oh my, I can't even quote Friends because I don't watch it, but I watch How I Met Your Mother. How I Met Your Mother is my favorite,
Dude,
and
of course.
dude, and what's so funny is, dude, nobody likes it, or it's, oh, that show's dumb. I was like, have you watched it? And they're like, no, I can't. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
I watched like the first season and a half of Friends. I think you can probably get through 8 seasons of How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
I think you're
exactly.
good. Dude, it's so good. Oh man,
It's so good. I cannot watch that episode without thinking you and almost wanting to text you, but you would probably delete my number every time. Where I'm just like, it'll be our Albondigas,
dude.
Man. Like every time.
Dude, I was just telling my cousin about that. How I was dude, by the way, he wants to know some good recommendations to like to
oh my gosh. Dude, I'm the worst. You asked me
no.
a long time ago.
Oh, I know, but that was like a was like no. Dude, no, he's been, you know what he's been doing? He's been binging cuz he had that DC app. Right? He had the DC app, and dude, he was like watching all the what do you call it? All the animated stuff that's on there. He loved it, and then he canceled it because HBO Go or HBO Max, I should say, put everything on there. So, dude, he's been binging everything, and he's like, dude, have you seen Constantine? Have you seen this and this? And that's how I used to be before. I was like, have you seen this? Have you seen that? Have you seen that? So now it's him. I'm like,
that's awesome.
No.
Good.
Yeah, so yeah, I gotta watch some of that stuff.
Feel good, right?
But
good. I got a list. We'll
dude.
At the end we'll make sure that can't let me forget. I got a list. I'll give you and all the listeners out there and him. Like, here's some stuff you gotta walk away with. Like, go check out. Like,
seriously.
Yeah, dude. It's so good.
But I told him the Albondigas, and dude, I had to do I reenacted the whole scene for him. Oh, dude, Albondigas.
Dude, nobody will get it.
Nobody.
I still remember I was at this little cafe in Redondo Beach, and I remember sitting there, and I look up on their whiteboard, and they had like special today in Albondigas. I just remember taking a picture and sending it to you because I'm like, no other human being will get this, or think it's funny. Like, even if they got it, they'll be like, "That's stupid."
He's like, how do you say secret in Spanish? Albondigas.
Albondigas.
Oh, it'll be our little Albondigas.
Albondigas. Can I have some meatballs? even now, everybody's gonna listen to this and be like, these two make zero sense,
Oh,
man.
dude. I love that episode, dude. I still think my favorite episode of How I Met Your Mother is the burger. That's my favorite episode, dude.
God. That's such a
The
good
perfect
episode.
burger. And dude, he goes into
That's
that
such a good
freaking
episode.
how he feels about it. He gets all poetic.
Oh man, dude.
The most playful pickle.
Yeah, and a seductive pas de deux. Like, it's like, and you got our vows off the internet.
Yes, dude. Lily was so pissed.
Oh man, the most playful little pickle. This is
dude.
God speaking to us through food.
Gosh, I'm freaking tearing up. That's so funny.
I know, dude. Oh, I'm gonna cry. That's so funny, dude.
Hey, dude, going back to the theory of X-Men and Lost, dude. There's one. Have you ever heard of, or have you ever seen Punch Drunk Love?
Dude, that movie is wild.
Dude,
I went into that. Okay, I went into that as most people probably do. I was like, Adam Sandler.
yes. Same here.
Dude, I got punch drunk from it. Like, it punched me right in the face. Like,
Dude, it's a freaking trippy movie, man.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I've recommended it to a few people, and one person took it, and he was like, dude, that movie's shot beautifully. Like, dude, he saw it like complete in a different light. And I was like, you're right, dude. It's crazy, huh? And dude, and it's one of my coworkers. Dude, check out this. I keep talking about it, but I work with this guy named Steven. I'm gonna give a shout out. And dude, he when we start talking about films, and I go, hey Steven, what's your, because he heard me talk about films with another person. He goes, do you watch a lot of movies? And I was like, bro, yes. And he goes, damn. He always has like these little funny like lines he always says. Yeah. And I was like, dude, what's your favorite movies? What are your top 3? And dude, he said, and I stopped right after he said the first one. He goes, my top movie, Godfather 2. And I was like, what? And then I go, whoa. I was like, you like The Godfather more than Goodfellas? And then he was like, what's that?
Stop.
I was like, whoa, hold on. I was like, wait, have you never seen Goodfellas? He goes, He goes, I haven't seen a lot of movies. I was like, what about Casino? And he's like, no, I've never heard of it. Dude, swear. He's never seen Dazed and Confused. Nothing.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Dude.
Bro, those are the best people on the planet.
Yes. Oh, bro. Yes. Here's the problem, though. This is the biggest problem. Is I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you some movies, and dude, you gotta watch them. Tell me what you think. And he's like, okay, bro. I told him to watch. Oh man, not in this order, but these were some of the movies I gave him to watch. It was There'll Be Blood, The Shining, The Shining.
What are you trying to do, man?
Dude, 2001: Space Odyssey. Dude, well, here's the thing. After he saw The Shining, 2001: Space Odyssey, he goes, dude, I only want to see movies like that. He goes, those movies are so intense. And I was like, hey, you know what? You're gonna love this. And I was like, bro, you gotta watch this movie called Sunshine. Hey, bro. He said that
I think we all just need to take a moment.
Hey, if you guys want to watch it, it's on Hulu. Shout out to Hulu.
If you want to watch it, hit me up. I'll buy you a copy if I need to.
Oh, dude.
It's my first time I've done it.
Hey, speaking of that, go off subject for a second, dude. One of my cousins, he lives pretty close by. He's like maybe like a 5-minute drive from here. He listened to one of the episodes with Mark and I, and he heard me talk about Ready Player One, and he was like, dude, the way he described it, he goes, dude, I want to read it. I have to read it. He goes, I saw the movie. He goes, but dude, you sold me on it. And he goes, I didn't really think of you as like reading a lot of books. I'm like, and I was like, bro, if somebody were to ask me what are your favorite books, I would say Ready Player One and Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. Those are like straight up, dude. I can't go any further than that. Those
and Say Cheese and Die, number 4 in the Goosebumps series.
Dude. Say Cheese and Die. Oh. Oh my gosh, dude! I forgot about those books, dude. Bro, that's right. I want to read them.
We're gonna segue off a segue, but I've started you know me. I'm a serial hobbyist, right, and a serial collector. And for anybody out there in the world, that means I can't stop buying nonsense. But it absolutely absolutely crushes and fights against every day. My PTSD is my need to own everything that fights against my like compulsive need to be clean and organized. So,
Oh,
but dude, I started a list. I went online and found a complete list of every original series Goosebumps book. And I think there's 62 books in the original
oh
series,
wow.
and
I didn't realize that
I've
many.
started collecting them. I've started buying them, and I've got like probably like 20 now, and it's wild. Going back and reading them is so good. Like they're so corny and cheesy, but they're great. Like they're great books. And yeah, anyway, that's a segue off of segues, bro.
Dude,
I got a nice collection of
you hit,
Goosebumps books.
you hit me so hard with Say Cheese and Die.
Stay season die, dude.
Dude, you could have gone. You could have said, "What is it? Night of the Living Dummy." But
Yeah,
no,
dude, I could have
dude.
said, yeah, the Haunted
Oh,
Master, the Phantom of the Auditorium. No, dude, say cheese and die, bro.
oh my god, dude.
It's the seller.
Oh, dude. No, let's.
Pictures worth 1,000 screens, dude.
Oh my god. How many? Wait, how many do you have right now?
I think I have about 20 of them so
Oh
far.
wow. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna get. You know me, man.
Oh
You know
yeah,
me. You've met me. I'm gonna get them all.
dude. I had to
Anybody
stop,
out there who's
man.
got Goosebumps books,
I think I
anybody's
have
listening wants
one.
to get rid of them,
I gotta
hit
find.
me up,
I gotta go see. I think my parents have it. Dang.
dude. You
I gotta
should.
go check.
They're so good.
Dude, my parents. My mom's really funny. She like when my nephews and nieces go over, and if they have to do school stuff, dude, rather than having them go on the internet and look it up, dude, she still has all of our old school Encyclopedia Britannicas.
Stop.
Dude, swear with the
Oh,
gold on the top
yes,
of the, yeah, and dude,
yes.
yeah, and so she has them go and grab one, and if it's
Good.
like whatever the subject is, she goes, yeah, you got to pull it. She goes, they're like, why? We can just look at it. I was like, nope, this is how they used to do it. This is how I had to do
Yep.
it. And so yeah, she's having them.
Can't
Dude, it's so funny.
I can't wait for the time they're gonna pull something and be like, so start writing a whole book report about Austria and how it exists, and they'll be like, wait a minute, like a bunch of countries that don't exist anymore. What are you
Yugoslavia or
talking
something.
about? They have sources for it. They're like, yeah,
Oh,
Encyclopedia Britannica, 1964. What are you
oh my
talking about?
god, dude. Oh,
Oh,
dude.
where do you
Okay.
get your fake news? Mine's printed.
Oh, dude. Like,
Wait, you were saying sunshine, right? Like,
oh, dude. Yeah,
the
I think we got too close to the sun, man. What the hell just happened? We just went freaking
I don't know.
nuts, dude.
It happens every
Dude,
time.
we were speaking to God for 7 years
I
right
was
now.
gonna
What the?
say, I was thinking for God of 7 years, dude. Oh, it's beautiful, Kappa. Just do it,
Oh,
Kappa. Just do it.
hey, you know what's? I think I messed up that story. I think I told him to watch Sunshine. I told him to watch Sunshine, and he loved it. He was like, "Dude, that's my favorite sci-fi movie I've ever." Seen. He goes,
I
"That's
love
that's
him.
in my top," and
Good.
he loved it. And I was like, "Dude, that's dope." And we always have. He always has this thing. He goes, "What would?" He always has like a, "What would you do?" Right? Like I told him to watch Black Mirror. He watched them all. He binged them all. He loved them. And
Good.
that was
Good.
like a whole like, "What would you do in that scenario? What would you do?" So he does that a
Right.
lot. And dude, he's been like the perfect subject for something like that. For
Well,
somebody that's
and then if
it's
he watches movies like that, you're like, or if he's like that when he analyzes movies, then you gave him some great movies to do that with.
yeah, and dude, he's done that with me. He's done that with me. He goes, "Hey, you ever seen this movie Coherence?" And I was like,
Ooh,
"No, what's that?" And go, and dude, him and I have this kind of like a agreement where it's like he'll say like, "Hey, you ever seen this?" And I'll be like, "No." He goes, "Dude, don't look it up. Just watch it." He goes,
I
I
love
think
it.
you'll like," and I do the same thing with them. I was like, "Dude, don't look into it. Don't watch a trailer. Just
Yes.
tell me what you
Yes.
think." And
Yep.
yeah, I don't think there's ever been a time where it was just like, dude, I didn't like it, or I don't know what I was watching. Like it was nothing like that. But dude, Coherence, that's on Hulu or Amazon. But
Dude,
that's like a
like we'll have to talk about that here in a moment. Like I have a lot to say on that because I think that right there is like a huge problem in just media in general right now. Like, and I think I messaged you about and I'm going to give a big shout out to Mark here. Mark, I was put on this planet to give Mark a hard time. I believe it to this day that is why I exist. And so he's a good sport. And so, listening to your guys' first episode, and I was like furiously in my head, like I should start writing notes. I'm going to text Mark all these things. And but like in good fun, but like there's just so many things that I can boil down to that it's expectation management, right? And people don't know how to manage expectations, or they have never been forced to do it. And media is the worst with that, the absolute worst. Like this is the hill I will die on, that the people that absolutely disdain and hate the DC movies, that hate new Star Wars movies, that hate this and that, it's because they don't understand what expectation management is, right? Like, and I think I told you, I call it the Apple illusion, right? Like that I blame Apple for most of the problems that we see in media now. We can get into that later. That's a whole thing.
Wow.
And it's that. So it's great when you find somebody like that who like understands, like, dude, don't read it. Don't go into it with anything, right?
Yeah.
Go into it just being like, I want to have an experience. And that's going to change how you take it. Like if you just go into it with, I hope it's as good as blank, you've already set something up for a potential failure, or you've just set yourself up to be disappointed.
Yeah.
And I get it. That's impossible sometimes, especially things like sequels or part of a series, but why? Why can't you detach yourself for a moment and just be like, I just want to see if I enjoy this. Right.
Yeah.
Because there are some things that even with that mentality still suck.
Yeah.
Like, but are they really like the worst thing that's ever happened to you? Really? Like, is it like, oh God, I hope they never make another one? Really? Like, is it that bad? Because I'm pretty sure I can name other things that are probably way worse than that. Like Mono's Hands of Fate, right?
Dude, blindness.
But dude, don't even get me started. I've been wanting to text you the cover of Blindness for so long. It's like, bro, are we watching?
Don't do it. Don't do it, man.
Oh, it's so good.
Rough.
But again, not to fully take away from that, but like I said, like it bugs me, man. As a serial hobbyist and somebody who I'm so passionate about media, right? Like whether it's books, comics, music, movies, anything that you can absorb and take in as some form of art. I'm passionate about it because people don't do it because they want to do something terrible, right? People put things out in the world because it's something that they feel that they need to do or have to do or want to do. And so not managing expectations properly is not giving things a fair shot of something you may actually enjoy. I've had films that I watched because I was like, this is how I feel about it, went in, hated it, and years later go back and be like, dude, I really like that. I mean, that was really good. Like, what was I thinking? It's the same thing of people being like, dude, I hate bologna. It's so gross, dude. It's garbage. Like, okay, when was the last time you had a bologna sandwich? Dude, I was 3 years old. My mom made me a bologna, and our car got T-boned. I hate bologna. Like, dude, what? Like, what are you talking about? Why don't you just try it? Do you like hot dogs? Yeah. Well, they just flattened out a hot dog.
Yeah.
There you go. Like, but those are the best people in the world. Are the people like your friend. Like, I'm gonna give him a shout out. Like, props to you, man. I wish there were more people like you out in the world. They're like, screw it. Let's just see what happens. I want to experience it. And I wish more people were like that. And I love finding people that don't know anything, because then that's the only way you ever get to relive it for the first time.
Right.
You know how many movies, bro, if you had to put together a list, you could probably pick easily 5 movies that you could, I would imagine, if you're like me, that you're like, man, I wish I could watch that for the first time again.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like, I wish I could watch Jurassic Park for the first time again. And it hits the same now as it did then. I'll watch that movie, you put it on, whatever, dude, I'll watch it, right? But that first time, that's like the timeline segmenting in Back to the Future. Like, I live on an alternate reality now on a tangent because I watched Jurassic Park, bro. That thing changed my life. And I wish I could. So finding somebody who's never seen it, I get to relive it.
It's beautiful.
Right?
Yeah, right. I almost wish I could watch it with them.
Right. Exactly. I don't want to watch the movie. I want to watch you watch it.
Yeah.
And so like finding people like that, like my girlfriend is one of those people, she's just never really seen like movies. And so we've watched, she's never seen any of the Back to the Futures, dude. And I got to watch her
Oh,
watch all of them. Yeah,
oh,
never.
that's
I got to
beautiful.
watch her watch all of those for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to watch her watch Terminator for the first time.
Oh
I got
my
to watch her
gosh.
watch Seven, and she still talks about that movie.
Oh, dude.
Right?
Wow.
We watched almost all the Star Wars movies, right? And I got to watch her experience these for the first time. And it's wild, right? And so like again, it all ties together in my opinion of like if you don't go, I wouldn't give her anything. I would just be like, "Oh, it's great." And I would try to it's hard when you're a super passionate, crazy fan. There's some movies where I like probably way oversell it, but like try to dial it back and be like, oh, it's good. Like you should watch it. I think it's something you should watch. I got to watch her watch Shawshank Redemption for the first time.
Oh man.
Imagine that, man.
That's
Imagine going back
beautiful.
and seeing that movie for the first time again.
It still gives me goosebumps, man.
Same, absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah.
right? Like and I got to watch that, and so like I love it, man. I wish that was somebody would pay me to do that. Is just find people who've never seen things and then describe to other people what it was like watching them watch it.
Oh, dude. I think one of my favorite. I remember seeing this compilation of parents showing their kids Star Wars and seeing the scene where spoiler if you haven't seen it, but when Darth tells he goes I'm your father, right? And dude,
Yeah,
watching the camera on the kids and they're like, oh, wait, what? And dude, just
dude.
their faces lighten up. Dude, I'm even getting goosebumps thinking about it because it's just so crazy. They're just their minds are just like, no way, the
Yep.
bad guy is his dad.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, and it's like,
What?
whoa. Yeah, dude, my
Yeah.
my cousin, he actually lives next door. Dude, I talked about it with Mark, and I have to correct this or I have to kind of break it down again. Dude, he showed his girlfriend. She's never seen the Star Wars, so dude, they're watching everything.
Good.
Yeah, and he started with episode 1 and worked their way up,
All right. Ooh,
right?
he's doing chronological, or he's doing
Yeah, and
like
so
ring number. Okay.
Mark, and I had to get the story straight because I had to ask him later because I kind of fumbled on the story, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I think she should have known. And dude, it's so funny because it was I think they watched so much of it that she got, I guess, maybe a little confused on what she was what she was watching, right? So then when the whole like with the whole I'm your father, she was like, whoa, wait, what? So I don't think she was like there all the way through, but dude, it tripped her out because she
Right.
knows who Darth
It wasn't
Vader
a
is.
gut punch.
Yeah, but she tripped out when she saw it. She was like, "No way!" But dude, she's been watching them all. They're caught up with Mandalorian, everything. They've watched everything, and I think
That's
I think
awesome.
he's watching Clone Wars with her.
Dude, that Star Wars is the only thing comparable to walking into a comic book shop, not knowing anything about comic books and comic book shops. Of like, what do I do? It's so intimidating
Dude,
because not only is it just insanely like dense with just content everywhere, but even with change, like you've got changes where this used to be canon, now this isn't, right? Like then like, oh, I got to watch this to really get this, right? Like
yeah,
just geez, man, it's so intimidating. And so, it's good on anybody who has the stones to be like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna jump into this, right? But also like for anybody to be able to get through it, to actually like understand why people are so passionate about it, right?
yeah,
Again, it's like that experience. You had that experience at the Comic Bug, and we've gone to convention stuff together. You get it,
yeah.
right? Once you're in, you're like, oh yeah, I get it.
Hmm.
And Star Wars, I think, is one of those things, and it's not everybody's cup of tea. There's some people I've recommended or seen things, and they're like, yeah, okay, it's cool. That's it, right? And so
Yeah,
what you've got to be able to, again, I'm going to say it for like the 19th time, is manage expectations, right? And so I love Star Wars. It's up there in the top all time greatest things. I love it, but I also am not going to be totally crazy, dude. We're not talking. These aren't. It's not Citizen Kane, man. These aren't like.
oof. Even that
These
movie's
aren't
hard to get
great,
through.
right? But they
Oof.
aren't great we have to stop pretending that Star Wars is like the mecca of media. Dude, it's not. Like the
Yeah.
movies are not the greatest thing to ever happen. They are campy, funny sci-fi stories
Yeah.
that have a wonderful universe that a lot of different people can attach to for different reasons. But I think people put it on such a pedestal that it only sets you up for failure. Only. It is so there you will never pacify 100% of Star Wars fans because they've never been forced to manage their expectations. The last time that happened, it was the original trilogy, and that was the only thing you had. That
Yeah.
was it, right? And they got lucky because, and again, people can fight me if they want, but you get the first one comes out, and then you get handed one of the best movies, in my opinion, of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and not one of the greatest movies. I just mean one of the best, like one of the best experiences. Irvin Kershner takes what George Lucas does and does it better, and say, "Here you go, like let's have some fun, right?" And then you close it out, and this is where your hate section is going to come in, dude. Jedi is one of my lowest ranked Star Wars movies.
That's usually that's a lot. A lot of people don't like it. I remember
But
as a
some
kid, I
people
liked it.
love it.
As a kid, I
Yeah,
liked it because I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" And Jabba's palace, like it was
yep,
just weird.
yep. Endor, you got Ewoks, you know,
Yeah,
but yeah,
but
I'm not a huge fan of it.
yeah, I think
Um,
I've gotten older, and Empire's been like, actually, no, I should rephrase that out. Mark's gonna
no,
freaking
lean into it,
take
do
me
it.
out. He's gonna take me out to dinner and never call me again.
Never call you again.
And he because he got I told him, well, you probably heard it, the whole Rogue One
Yep,
story,
yep, yep.
but
Dude, Rogue One is my
oh my
number two
gosh,
of all time. It's my number two Star Wars movie of all time.
dude, man,
It goes Empire and then Rogue One. Rogue One is
it's beautiful.
it is. That's the best way to describe it. It is
And dude, and
beautiful.
if it wasn't from, going back to what you said, if it wasn't for my buddy saying, "Hey, go check out Road One, dude, I think you'll like it. It was good." I was like,
Yeah,
okay. Didn't watch anything, didn't know any backstory, nothing. And I think that's like I even have a rule when it comes to shows. Like for instance, we're gonna go back a little bit more with Lost, dude. I did not want to go on IMDb, Wikipedia, nothing until I was done with the show because
yes,
I didn't
yeah,
want to ruin anything. I didn't want to see them. I didn't want to see any of the characters in a different light in terms of being in another show, or I wanted to like have the mindset of them being in that island and that's who they really are. If that makes sense, right? I don't know if that
yeah.
makes any
No,
sense, but
absolutely,
and plus I didn't want any like
absolutely.
spoilers or like, dude, freaking Sawyer's from San Jose. Oh, it's crazy. Oh, I wonder, but
Yeah,
whatever, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't know. Like I just
You were
yeah,
managing your own expectations.
yeah, dude, I'm really weird about it. Like The Office, the
Well, that's
same thing.
good.
When I finally finished the whole show, I was like, oh, okay, let me see what everyone's in. Dude, I went through it. And yeah, I think that goes for Breaking Bad, same thing.
Yep,
Dude,
yep.
I have to wait. And then the way I am with, dude, everyone thinks I'm weird because when it comes to like uh media, going back to the whole media thing, dude, I'll watch a trailer once and then that's it.
I love it.
I
I
don't
love
want to
it.
um know too much or like what's the word, or just burn myself out with it because I remember,
Or you just ruin it, like
right,
because on the other side of that coin is somebody who's the opposite of you going, why didn't they show more? I want to see it all. No, what you want to do is you want to watch the movie.
yeah,
We get that. Everyone does.
yeah, yeah, it's weird, man. I don't know when that started or why, dude. And my cousin, he's so funny. He goes, dude, I want to be on. I really want to talk to you about your I don't know if the right word is mannerisms, but just how I am when it comes to like, because dude, I don't like going to the theater. I really don't, man. And I'll tell you,
Okay.
yeah, but I'll tell you,
I mean, we had some fun times at the
oh
theater.
my God, almost 6 hours long. Come
Yep.
on, dude. I told
Yep.
that story to my buddy the other day because we were talking about Scott Pilgrim, and I go, dude, let me tell you a little story about Edgar Wright and
Yeah,
and
dude.
the Coronado trilogy,
I regret
dude.
nothing, man. I'd
Oh
do it again right
no,
now.
dude, I was so mad because I remember when we were gonna go watch World's End. I'm gonna see if you remember this, dude. We're like, we went out, used the restroom, and we came
Yep.
back, and I remember Alicia went to go pee, and then I went, and then
Dude.
it had the soda, and then
Yeah, the soda.
dude, and uh, she goes, you didn't want any, or do you want any more? Boom, throws it away without even asking me. I'm like, dude, that was like 75% capacity right there. I was like, I still wanted more. And she goes, oh,
Yeah, I need.
it's okay. No, you're good. Dude, I remember you just watched that and just laughed. Oh,
Dude, it was
man.
so funny. It was so good. It was like, are you sure, Funk? Like,
Dude,
what?
just cool. Dude, she was on dial up. She just had no delay. Dude, just or no, she was high speed. High speed.
Yeah,
That's right.
she was asking you out of curiosity.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
just
right.
She was just doing it out of being polite. She was taking a survey, but that thing was going in the trash. The follow-up question should be, so now how do you feel that I threw that away?
Oh, dude. She even had a
So
notepad.
good.
Pen.
Oh,
she
yeah,
was just,
absolutely.
yeah.
Going door to door, census, walking up the aisles, asking everybody else. So, how do you feel about watching that?
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember when we went and watched Ghostbusters.
Oh my god, dude! I remember I saw so much because of how. Because I don't know. I don't think I've ever watched. Maybe I did watch it when it was on some streaming service, but to see it on the big screen and how clear it was, dude, it was a trip.
Yeah.
It was really trippy and how much stuff you saw.
I know, we did,
dude.
But anyway, you're saying so. I get it though. Like that experience isn't for everybody, and like you talked about it with Mark, and I can. There's a few things I can't do it with, but I totally agree with you. Where you wait for it to kind of be like all done and ready for you then to jump in and like experience it on your own pace.
Yeah.
And dude, when you were telling Mark kind of like how you did Breaking Bad, I was like, yeah, good for you, man. Like, because you talk to any Breaking Bad fan, dude, they'll Clockwork Orange you. They'll change you to a chair, like a chair, put your eyes open, and be like, all right, let's go. Like start spritzing your eyes.
Yeah,
like,
dude. Like, seriously.
Calm down. I'm not going to enjoy it that way.
Or just not even that. I think if anything, it's the pain of not having a sixth season for like almost a year and a half, and them having to wait. There's like that huge struggle too. And it was like, dude, dang, dude, that's crazy. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. I don't know if I don't know. Like, dude, what if they left the Office at a cliffhanger? And I'm like, dude, are they ever gonna bring it back? They're gonna bring that last season? What happened to freaking Michael Scott?
I agree. Like watching Lost now, you know, like my girlfriend said it. She's like, man, if this was on TV and we had to wait after all of these cliffhangers every single time, she's like, I'd be so annoyed. Dude, like, yeah, that's true.
My buddy, who I met at Best Buy too, dude, he was like all in when the show was happening. And dude, after the show, he was telling me that they would give you a website and you can watch these like online videos also from the show.
What?
Yeah, like webisodes.
Dang, that's like Dark Knight level marketing.
Dude, it's crazy. I was like, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, they're all in the DVDs. I was like, oh man, that's already brutal enough. You watched an hour or maybe more because of commercials, and then now you're gonna watch a webisode. You're crazy. He goes, dude, we were all in. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess so. You're right.
I guess. Good for you. Listen, dude. Funny story about something like that. It's like you were telling your Breaking Bad story. Yeah. So I watched the first. This is gonna get a lot of people riled up. I watched the first season of Game of Thrones on syndication when it came out, HBO. Yeah. Right? Like I was watching it. And do you remember Mojo? From Best Buy?
Who's
Mojo? She was our friend when we moved to LA who had worked with us in Orlando, actually. She used to be like the back office admin. She was she worked under Stephanie. Like she had a kind of a Spanish accent. Anyway, she was big. She was big into the books, like huge fan. And so she was like, Devin, you gotta watch this. And I was like, okay. She's like, it's coming out. You're gonna love it. I was like, oh, cool. So I started watching it when it came out, right? And I was in. Like, I was okay. You know, first season, it's got Sean Bean. I was like, man, he's awesome. Like, I love him. You know, good stuff. Second season hit. I got like 3 episodes in. I'm like, this sucks, and I stopped watching it.
Dude.
Okay, and dude, that was like, when did it come out? Like,
wow.
When did it first?
You just narrated what I did.
Right.
That's exactly what happened.
So I think it first started. It started airing in like 2000, like what, 10, 11, something like that.
Right.
Fast forward. I'm living here in Nashville, dude. Previews start coming out for the last season, and my buddy David is so into it. He's watched everything. He loves the books. He and I click. Like he and I talk about everything. Comics and games and all this. And
It's a good friend.
he's like, so yeah, good dude. And he finds out that I never seen it. I was like, dude, I stopped. And he's like, I mean, like, the next thing you hear is we lost him. Like, dude. So I was like, okay, all right, I'll watch him. But what blew his mind is I made it. That was, dude, the last season was what? This was only like 2 years ago, right? I think it's like 2019. So I've gone like 8 years. I knew the only spoiler I knew
Starbucks cup
was that Jon Snow was still alive because his face was on every poster.
Yes. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
I knew nothing else about the show. That's it.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I finally got to see what somebody was like on the other side of when I like to show somebody something. I'm like, oh my God, I need you to see this because I need to see you watch this. I watched it in his face. Like he was about to get to watch what happens when somebody experiences these things like for the first time. And dude, so I powered through it. And I watched 7 seasons of Game of Thrones as quickly as I possibly could. And I was like basically live tweet, like texting him as I was watching episodes. And I mean, dude, I was watching them back to back.
Oh my
like
God,
just if I had time, I was watching them back to back. And I powered through it. And then the only other spoiler that I figured out was I knew that there was a thing called the Red Wedding because that blew up all over the internet, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for anybody out there.
Yeah.
The only reason I knew it is that this band I love, Sigur Rós, did the music for it. They were in the show. They did music.
Wow.
And so as soon as I heard Sigur Rós, like they're very distinctive, I was like, I think this is the Red Wedding thing. And I'm like, oh, and then it happened. I was like, oh God. That's it, right? Like I didn't even know what was happening. I just knew it was a thing. So anyway, I watched all of it, man. And I got depressed.
Oh, wow.
I realized it took me like a week and a half to watch through like everything. And I realized, dude, I was not sleeping well. I was not feeling well. Like my appetite was like gone. Like I would just like, if I wasn't going to work or school, I would just do nothing. And like, I felt bad. And I realized, I was like, dude, I talked to him. I was like, it's because I had no time to process the horrible, incredible things that were happening constantly on that show because something horrible would happen and I would hop to the next episode for something equally horrible to happen. And so he was like, dude, you can be okay? I'm like, I don't know. So I took like a break of like 3 days of nothing, like no TV shows, no movies, like afterwards. But like, man, like, so what you did with Breaking Bad, I get it. Like, I understand it. And honestly, I think my experience was like unique. Like, I loved it. And so like how you experienced Breaking Bad is probably way more unique than somebody who's like trying to do it on syndication.
I wish I could have watched. I want to start a show, and I want to start a show from beginning to end, like when it first comes out. I've always wanted to do that. I don't think I've ever done that. Wait, have I?
I don't know. I don't think there's a show that I can say that for.
Oh no. Well, I don't know. I guess.
No, that's a lie. There are two. There are two that I can say. I did that with Chernobyl, which is cheating because it's only like 5-6 episodes, and Lovecraft Country.
Okay, that's so weird that you're saying that because I'm going on HBO also. Mine was these are terrible. Eastbound and Down.
Dude.
And what's the other one? Vice Principals. Dude,
I haven't seen that.
Oh my, dude, that's the other. What's his name? Danny McBride. That's his other show. Dude, it's
he's
so
gold.
good.
Anything he touches. He did that Righteous Gemstones show with John Goodman too.
Dude.
I couldn't get super into that.
Oh, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
But Eastbound and Down is a good one.
Oh,
that's
dude,
a good
it's
one.
rough. It's
I was gonna say yeah.
It's rough.
Those are good shows to do that with, though. It is rough.
But yeah, I remember starting that from beginning to end. It was just, the last episode was rough.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. For those, I just don't want them to end. Him and Ricky Gervais are kind of weird because they have this rule about if he goes past the 4th season, then people are not going to want to pay attention anymore. I
mean, I guess I can see that. It just depends on the content, you know.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm a diehard Psych fan, and that show went for 9 seasons plus 2 movies, right? And I'd watch anything they put out. You know, I didn't love the last season of How I Met Your Mother, but I still watch that from beginning to end all the time. It's on the background when I'm doing stuff.
Dude, that's what Alicia says. Spoiler. But yeah, dude, that's like, yeah, the last season's like,
it's just not. It's just, okay, spoilers. Tell me, dude. Okay, tell me this would not have been a way. At least, even not changing the ending, they could have just done one thing that would honestly just saved it for me. Remember when the whole like running gag for a while near the end is after they find out that Lily and Marshall have been making bets, right? And the bet about whether or not they'll end up together.
Yes.
Dude, why was that not the last thing that happened? Is that they were paying up for the bet? That should have been the last scene of the show.
Yeah.
Because they ended it multiple times with Marshall being like, not yet. Right?
Yeah.
I was so frustrated that they didn't do that. I was like, are you kidding me? You've been building up to this. That the last thing is him paying up the bet.
I think also what they should have done is they should have left it in a familiar environment. I think them being out in like a different place and they're at that like wedding facility or whatever it is. Like, can you imagine if they were to be like, hey, we're going to have the wedding at the bar or something silly like that?
Yeah, it would have been dumb and stupid, but like it would have made sense. Yeah, but yeah, them being at that like resort was just it took that familiarity and like comfort out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
And granted, there's a lot of funny things that happen. Like, dude, the whole Billy Zabka is amazing. Like everything about him being there is the best. The best around.
Hey, have you been watching Cobra Kai?
I have not. I knew you were going to ask me.
It's okay. No spoilers.
Dude, here's the thing. You don't need to sell me on it.
Oh, no.
It's been sold. I know it. I just haven't. I've been real bad lately. Like, I've just been, I've been going to the things that are like the comfort things, the things that I know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the comfort things?
I actually just rewatched all of Monk.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I was like, I did that. I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch this whole series, and I watched it. I love it, man. That show's so good.
I gotta watch it. My cousin was just talking about that. Him and his girlfriend are watching Monk. I've only seen a couple of episodes. I didn't know what. I remember it being on USA.
Yep.
Right.
USA.
And I remember it used to come on right after wrestling.
Oh yeah.
It was either that or like.
Or if you stayed home from school, it was on.
Dude. It was, Red Shoe Diaries. Or Pacific Blue, or whatever. It was like whatever those shows were on USA. But dude, what was so funny was like I was like,
lawyers with briefcases.
I was like, what is this dumb Monk thing? And I would change it. I didn't know. And then finally, I watched it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this dude's like a freaking hypochondriac, whatever you want, or obsessive compulsive hypochondriac, and he's doesn't want to get his hands. Yeah, he's a detective and doesn't want to get his hands. Oh, dude, that's so good. And I watched a couple episodes and I liked it.
Dude, Tony Shalhoub, man, I don't think that guy ever gets enough credit for how good of an actor he is. Dude. 13 Ghosts, dude. He's great in that movie. Dude,
what about him in
Galaxy Quest?
Can I have one of those? And Searching for Bobby Fischer. Dude, he only has like 3 lines in that movie. He's so good.
That's all you need, man. And it's still so good.
The gummy bears. Yeah. Can I have one?
Yep. Dude, he doesn't get enough credit, but that show is phenomenal. Psych is the other one. How I Met Your Mother, and Law and Order SVU. I put that on repeat a lot.
Hey, you know what?
These are their stories, man.
Dude, I kind of let that process for a second about what you're saying about Game of Thrones. I felt like that when I watched. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 days before or after Christmas. I can't remember. And they brought out a new season of Black Mirror, and it was the one called Crocodile. I can't remember which ones they were or which season. I remember there was one with I can't remember. I can't remember all the episodes of that season. But dude, I work with this guy. He's probably gonna listen to this. I don't care. But dude, he would binge through shows. Like, and I'd be like, hey, dude, did you watch, I don't know, if they brought back Three's Company or something. Hey, you watched Three's Company? He goes, oh, dude, we finished it all. We're done. We're good. I was like, dude, they just put it out 2 days ago. Yeah, my wife and I, we binged through it. I'm like, Oh my
Yeah.
god. What'd you think about
Jeez,
season
dude.
3, episode 4? Ah, dude, which one is that? It's like that.
Huh?
It's like, come on, dude. You didn't even process it.
Yeah.
But
What that
dude,
means is he looked at the cover and then the back
oh,
page.
dude, that's
Like that's
it.
all you can do.
That's
That's
it.
it.
But dude, the what you said about how you felt just like kind of bummed out. Not
It
necessarily
just
that you wanted to tell someone, but dude, the episodes were so intense that it just like
I
kind of
couldn't process
yeah,
it.
you
I
couldn't
didn't I didn't have a safe space to process it.
yeah. Yeah, dude, I did that. There was like only like 4 episodes, but dude, they were so bad, like dark,
Yeah.
especially one. I think one was called Crocodile. Oh, dude, it's rough.
Dude,
But dude, it,
there are some of those that are just
dude,
like the episode that always gets me, that's just burnt, like people ask that question, what lives rent free in your mind, is the episode, I think it's in the second season, it might be the first season, but it's the one where there's like the people wake up in the house and there's like no one in this town except like they look up in windows and people like filming them, and like then like there's like people chasing them, and it, like spoilers, it turns out like that they're like part of this game show to punish
mm-hmm.
criminals. Dude,
Yeah,
that episode lives rent free in my mind every day. I think about that. I'm like, what just happened? Like, I relive the trauma of like, what just happened?
yeah, dude, that's like Running Man.
Dude, exactly.
Yeah,
That one just messes with me every time. But then they put them like to sleep, or they drug them so that they wake up and like forget everything that happened. They make them
yes,
relive it over and over. Like, oh, dude.
yeah, and
Whew.
and I think it was because they did something bad.
Yeah, they like, I think it was like they incidentally or caused the death of like a kid in like
Yes,
a
yeah,
robbery or something.
yeah, they're
Dude,
making them go
that
through
one messes with me.
like a purgatory. Yeah, do people like
Yeah, and
filming
they
it on
just
their phone? Yeah, dude, that's
yeah,
weird,
yeah. So you find out like these weird people are like all paid like actors that are like part of this thing. It, like it's wild,
dude.
wild. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that show I can see that being very similar. Of like watching, powering through that, dude. Like you got to take a moment to mentally breathe.
Yeah, dude,
You gotta.
and I think I woke up early because I remember they released them at midnight, and I remember I woke up really early, and I think this is when Alicia was going to and from work, and dude, I remember being at home and I binged through them, and I was like, dude, I
Yeah.
felt like I wanted to throw up, just
I
like,
bet. I
oh,
bet.
dude, what did I just watch? It was like I
Yeah.
overate. My brain
Yeah.
overate, and I just wasn't ready for it. But yeah, dude,
But right, like you get it. Like it's like yeah, yeah. Like so, I get the benefits sometimes of like not having all of the episodes like right there ready to go.
yeah,
But at the same time, like I want to do it at my own pace, because like if I'm hooked on something, I want to be like, okay, I just got to know. And other times I'm like, okay, that's enough for tonight. Sometimes Sarah and I will watch like 4 episodes of Lost like back to back, and then other nights we'll watch one and be
fudge.
like, okay, we're good, like we're good.
Oh,
So so it's weird. I talk a lot about the expectation management, and it's hard because it's not the same for everyone, but there's gotta be like, just as a society, I'm gonna get real, introspective here, or I guess outrospective, but there's gotta be a better way that we as people can start like managing these things. Like
dude,
again, I called it the Apple illusion, right? And it was, to me, it's like, just because you see it all the time and just because it has a name doesn't mean it's the best. And I feel like there's so much people hang their hat on that says that's it. Like they did it and that's it, that's the best. When we know for a fact, and I'm saying this to you on AirPods, my iPhone, and my computer I'm using, the MacBook Pro, that Apple is not the best. We know that,
yeah,
right? Like, and saying that and saying anything other than otherwise is counterproductive to like most things. Like, because if it's the best, then why do anything else? It's not. Everything has their flaws. Everything has
yeah,
their things that it can be better at. And so, but just because it's the first or it's the most visible doesn't mean it's the best. And so, like, I'm going to make a terrible comparison, but like, how many TV ads do you see for Maserati? Right?
dude,
How many TV ads do you see for Rolls Royce versus how many TV ads do you see for BMW or like Mercedes or
yeah,
Lexus? Right? So I'm not saying they don't have their merits, they do, but just because you see it all the time doesn't mean it's the best that's out there. And just
Right.
because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not. Like, nobody's saying Maserati is the best, right? Like, I wouldn't buy one because that's not where I would put my money. It's not going to offer me what I need out of a vehicle, right? Like, you have to manage your expectations. And I feel like media, we have allowed it to just grow into this thing where they're managing it for us. And like the big thing that really just got me hyped on it is like Marvel, this Marvel universe. Dude, you know me. We've talked people now. I guess a lot of people listening to this know me probably a bit. Like, I'm passionate about the world of comic books and
Oh yeah.
superheroes and the stories that they mean and the way that they connect to people and the things that are important. You know, and why I like a character doesn't mean it's the reason you do, but we can share that, right?
Right.
And but that's not the passion that I see when you have some of these conversations with fans about it. Like people hate the DC movies. Okay, I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong because, like, I think you're wrong, but that's also my opinion. But I would lean in and go, why? Why is it so bad? And I have not been able to press into people, and this is just my opinion, and this is a narrow scoped opinion, but I've very rarely found people who give me things that again, this is subjective of what's legitimate, but like give me things that I'd be like, oh, you know what, that totally makes sense, right? Like why you don't like it so much. It almost always breaks down to a comparison of something else out there. And if you're always comparing to something else, you're not giving anything a fair shot. Like, I don't know. I guess that's probably a narrow way of looking at things. But like, I know people fear change, right? Like, it's human
Yeah.
nature to be defensive about change and things that like change up the status quo. Like, immediately you're going to be critical about or untrusting to like anything that shakes up the norm. And so Marvel set out and made this universe, and they did a damn good job of it, right? Like there's no denying that what they did is monumental and has been so impactful in so many ways to so much media. But I'm not going to stand there and tell you that what they did is like, okay, they did it, so why even try? Because I literally hear people be like, dude, that Batman movie sucked. Why do they even keep making these? Like, because it's great.
Yeah.
Because I'm 30 something years old, I'm still getting awesome Batman movies, right? Like, dude, yes, let's do it. I want to see it, you know? And I hate that. I hate that in most fandoms of people just being so overcritical and so unable to manage expectations that it means that like we're done. Just stop. Like, dude, Edison's light bulb was so good. Why is anybody else making any LED? Get out of here. Look at this light bulb. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. It just drives me nuts, and it happens in every fandom, dude. Like every fandom.
Oh, for
It's
sure.
Star Wars versus Star Wars, right? Like the internal Star Wars fans almost hate themselves more than they hate external fans. Like um, D&D, right? Like I'm a big Dungeons and Dragons guy, especially now the pandemic has hit. I've
Hmm.
gotten back into it, and I loved it and missed it. But like there's different versions and people will fight to the death. Like, this is the best one. Hey, why isn't it just awesome that anybody's playing it, right? And that we're all can share in this thing that we love. Dude, Zelda, right? Like video games. Dude, people will pull out pitchforks if you say this is the best Zelda game. You'll get
Ooh.
stabbed.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm kind of
right?
glad I don't know any diehard Zelda fans.
Oh,
Seriously,
man.
because I mean, right now, like, because I played the two worlds. The
Oh, yeah, Between Two Worlds is a great game.
dude, it's beautiful game. And then
It is.
when the new one came out, Breath of the Wild, dude, I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, I know that it's new, but man, they really changed the game. They changed everything on it,
It's
and
it
for the
it's
good.
not a Zelda game.
Dude, it's not.
It's
Oh
not.
man, it's something else,
It's
man.
great. It's like a perfect game. Like I would rate it a 10 out of 10 as far as games go,
Yeah,
but it's also not necessarily a Zelda game. So I see where you're coming from.
you don't think it is?
I don't, man. What made Zelda unique to me, what made Zelda a Zelda game is you have the you have certain things, right? That and this is now me going to probably backtrack on everything I just said about being a passionate fan and what annoys me. I'm gonna just live and breathe this. What made a Zelda game is like the big thing to me was the dungeons, right? It was a dungeon diver,
Right.
right? It was I'm out here and I gotta struggle to do these things and I gotta build up my, who I am and my abilities as I, dive through this world. And One of my favorite things about Zelda games was like you seeing things. Like I remember in A Link to the Past, first time I ever played it, you're walking in this one area and you look up on a cliff and there's like a heart piece and you can't get it. And you can't get it for like way later until the game, right? But my mind was like, I've got to figure out how to get this thing. So I probably spent hours like doing things that were impossible and then trying to figure out these puzzles and do that, right? It's like it was the idea of progression allows me to do other things and like backtracking, but using these dungeons and then abilities. You know, Breath of the Wild didn't do that. Breath of the Wild threw in dungeons, but the dungeons give you the same thing every time you do them. It was when you went into the Guardians, right? You just get the same thing every single. The dungeon changes a little bit, but it's the same experience. You go in, got to figure out a little bit. You fight this thing, you get the same type of reward. You're done. Boom. Where the dungeons in the other games were like unique and they had an experience or they interconnected to allow you to go to this place and do that. But the Guardian ones don't do that. I also felt like music was a big part of Zelda.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that from Breath of the Wild. Like as terrible that is to say, like, because, you know, it's not a core game component. I consider it that. I consider it like immersive. Like you know, you play a Zelda game, like you throw on A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Between Two Worlds, dude, crank up the volume, right? Yeah. It's just so good. Dude, and I didn't get that with Breath of the Wild.
Which one's the one for Super Nintendo?
Dude, Link to the Past
was the one
on Super Nintendo.
I remember when you go into one of the caves and you come across like the little fairies going around, you can catch them with a net. Dude, that song alone, I would just sit in there and just let the song play because I just love hearing that song. And I don't even know what type of instrument it is. But I just loved hearing it. It just felt so magical.
Right. And they captured that with Between Two Worlds. Like that game felt like it fell just right in line with Zelda. Like it was just, I felt right back at home. Like, because to me, it honestly felt like almost a continuation of A Link to the Past.
Yeah. Right.
And and I love it, you know, and I'm a big Zelda fan, but I just didn't get that with Breath of the Wild. But at the same time, the game was gorgeous. It was beautiful. The gameplay was incredible. I definitely think it deserves to be an incredibly highly rated game. It is beautiful. But if I know nothing and compared certain things, I wouldn't have guessed that it was a Zelda game without a name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. So that's just me on that. But like I was saying, like it's just these passionate fans, man. Like, dude, right now I'll say it. Here's your hate mail coming in. All right, giving everybody your address. Exactly. Everybody talks about Ocarina of Time as the greatest Zelda game of all time. God, that game is good. I think Majora's Mask was better.
Okay. Oh my God.
I think Majora's Mask. Fight me,
dude. I'll pull my hair out. Dude, that game was so
Mark is probably foaming at the mouth right now. Like,
dude, he just watched Little Giants and he put Alka-Seltzer in his mouth.
Dude, exactly. The annexation of Puerto Rico means he's driving to Nashville to punch me in the throat.
Dude.
Another movie I got to watch my girlfriend watch for the first time. So,
I love that movie.
But yeah. Like, I think it was a better game. You know, and I have reasons for it. You know, but dude, don't say that around certain people, or they will end you, or you will never speak to them again.
Dude, I'll tell you this. I bought it for the 3DS, and I found the game in Santa Cruz, and it was like, I don't know. It was speaking of the shop, it was called Level Up, and and you walk in, right? It was a nice little shop, very intimate, really cool, very clean. I love that. And dude, you walk in, and there's like this little glass like casing, pretty decent size, and it has like the 3DO, the Jaguar, and it's like his video game museum.
Awesome.
It's small, right?
It.
I shouldn't say small, but it has a lot of stuff in there. Dude, he had something in there that I've been telling everyone about, and people think that I've been taking, I don't know, the Limitless pill or something, but it makes me dumber. I don't know. But dude, there was this thing that Sega had back in the day. My buddy Kevin, shout out, dude, he was like one of my childhood friends, like childhood best friend. Dude, he had this device, and you had to get through the cable provider, and it was called Sega Channel. And what it is, it's a cartridge that goes into your Sega, and on the back of it was a coaxial, and you plug the coaxial in, and you turn on your console, and it loads up the Sega whatever, right? And then it takes you to a menu, and the menu changed every month. And think of it as like Netflix, but dude, you go on it and it'll say like fighting, puzzle, action, coming soon.
Yeah, so it's a thing, right? That's like a block that plugs into the cartridge, but then the cable plugs into it, right?
Dude, it was like the 32X.
Dude, I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude,
I didn't have it. I didn't have a Sega. Like we were the Nintendo family, right?
Dude, he had. I mean, he was like, first of all, the coolest dude in the world. Just so chill. Whatever he got, he wanted to show you. Like, hey, dude, check this out. I got this new freaking Voodoo 3D card. Right? He had all the latest and greatest stuff. Dude, he won a freaking Sega Saturn from Blockbuster in a raffle.
What?
Swear.
Okay,
yes.
First off, that is the oldest statement of all time,
bro.
For anybody out there.
I'm telling you.
We just dated ourselves.
Oh, yeah. No, it's okay. Dude, I remember just being like, he won a freaking Sega Saturn. That's crazy. But, dude, so I've told so many people about it. And so when I went in there, dude, I don't know how many. I think I have it on my computer. Dude, I have like 15 pictures of it in different angles. Just so I'm not like, I know there's a wiki page and everything, cool. But, dude, nobody ever believes me on that. And I told him, I was like, dude, it was so ahead of its time. And I remember even Sega had like a dial-up adapter for the phone, so you can play people, all over the world, like what Jim Carrey says in Cable Guy.
Play Mortal Kombat with your friends in Vietnam.
Right, dude, that's what it was. But yeah, dude, oh man, Sega.
That's awesome.
Hold on. Oh, Majora's Mask. Oh, so dude, I ended up buying it there. Majora's Mask, right? And dude, I think it was like a European version because the cover looked really weird. And then he also had Ocarina of Time, and they were cheap. It was like $15. So I was like, "Oh, I want it." I said, "Can I open this up just to try it out here?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's fine." Dude, it worked. Dude, let me tell you, I only played Majora's Mask for maybe an hour, and I wanted to break my 3DS, dude. I was so frustrated. It was so hard, dude.
It's so difficult.
It was a game I've never played. Dude, rough.
But it's also so rewarding.
That's the thing. I got no reward from it because I couldn't even get through it. Dude, I was so mad. I was like, dude, this is so hard. And dude, I'm the type that is like, I can't go on YouTube. I can't do it, man. I gotta figure this out. And dude, I could never do. I still have it. I look at my 3DS. I'm like, I get so mad,
in the
dude.
corner staring at you.
Oh yeah, dude. It's like freaking Dr. Claw, Madcap. Dude, I just can't do it, dude.
Oh, you should, because again, that's my controversial statement. Is, dude, I think it's a better game, man. Like once it's hard and it's rough. But I will tell you what, that story, that experience, that world, dude, it's just light years, way too advanced. It was way ahead of its time, and it doesn't get the recognition because the game before it had already done that, had already been a landmark franchise. It changed gaming, right, in so many aspects, because you've got Zelda and Mario, these two 3D experiences that have just completely blown people's minds. So Ocarina gets, of course, this unbelievable recognition, but Majora's came, I think it was like 2 years after, like so quick, like such a quick turnaround time. That's Call of Duty turnaround where people have no expectations. They just, bam, popped out this incredible game, and people, I think, well, we've been talking about, rank it based off of the other one. Yeah. And so I'm like, that's not giving it a fair shot.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately, I have a ton of opinions like that. But because you said it with Mark, and I loved it, dude. I was cheering you on. You and I have talked about this before. My favorite Back to the Future is the third one.
Yeah.
I love it. That movie is so good.
Yeah.
In so many ways, because it's not the same formula. It's a doc story.
Yeah.
And I love it.
And the thing that's so crazy is, like, dude, seeing Doc heartbroken, bro, he's this like
Oh,
amped up on a freaking, I don't know what he's on, but dude, he's always like, he's always tweaking out on something, figuring, his mind's going so fast.
it's radiation poisoning. That's
Oh,
early
dude. Yeah, you're right. Plutonium. But dude, but it's crazy, dude. Like, you just see just this person just get defeated, and not even get defeated in the future. He gets defeated in the past, which is unreal, man.
But you also get a completely different Doc, because when he gets there, he's not the same guy.
No.
He's not that tweaked out dude. He's living his best life. Like, he built a giant ice machine, man, and built a scope, right? Like, he's just an awesome, like, it's like he finally found his zen.
Yeah.
Right?
Dude, he's smelling the flowers. Yeah.
Exactly. And so you just get such a good vibe and story from it. And yeah, I love it. And I love the Old West theme. It's just such a divergence from everything, because you're smashing old and new technology together, which is always cool. It's always fun. It tells like, I love historical fiction, right? So it gives you this like weird historical fiction vibe. Yeah, it's great. But you probably know more than any. People will fight to the death about, dude. No, first one. It's they teach it, read a screenplay in film school, read that and read Godfather. That's how you make a screenplay. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Not saying that it invalidates how incredible the first one is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I have a different opinion, but it doesn't mean that I hate the other. When people think that, I think that's what people's problem is. If you say I like the third one, they go, dude, why don't you like the first one? Right? Why is that your first question?
Yeah, dude, I've listened
to what I said.
Yeah, I've listened to a couple of podcasts, dude. That, like if you go on the podcast app, you can type in like Back to the Future or whatever it is, and it'll give you something that's similar to that. And I've listened to just randoms, and dude, they've like bashed 3, and I'm like, wow. And it's so crazy because it's like, I consider 1, 2, and 3. Like if somebody's like, "What's your favorite movie?" I'll say, "Oh, Back to the Future." The trilogy is like my one.
The trilogy, yeah,
it's my one. Yep. I gotta have
that.
But I've never said, "Oh, I can do without 3. I don't care." And it's like, dude, no, that just completes everything. I don't know.
No, right? No, dude, you're totally right. Like you're totally right. And like I said, like I've had so many people be like, "Well, why don't you like this one?" Like, dude, that's not what I said.
Yeah. No. No, I have love for all 3 of them, dude. But it's just one, and I think the thing is once I get to 3, it's like, oh, okay, this is where things kind of they take a turn. It gets weird. It gets weird for Doc. Yeah,
it gets weird in the best way.
Yeah, but dude,
in the best way.
Mark brought up something that I didn't think about, and I was kind of with him on it with the whole, that the second one gets really dark, and it does, and I didn't think about that. I was like, dude, you're right. I think I felt a little weird when I watched it too as a kid.
Yeah. I don't think I picked up on it like that. Yeah. Like I went in like not knowing what to expect, so I was just looking at shiny floating cars, hoverboards.
Yes,
and you don't pick up on how dark it is. Like, yeah, dude, like the Strickland on the front steps with the shotgun and bulletproof vest, like that's a dark, man.
Dude, on his face, dude. Hey, you want to hear something funny though? Dude. And I hope you've seen these movies, but dude, like later on, like Mark and I have talked, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, westerns. That's my thing. I love westerns." Fast forward a week later, I go, "Hey, dude, did you know that the writer of Young Guns, he's thinking about making a part 3?" Dude, I've never seen 1 or 2.
What is this? Is for you listeners out there. This is why I was put on the earth, to give Mark a hard time.
Oh no. Dude, I was like, are you serious, man?
Young Guns, man.
Oh, dude, Emilio? Charlie
Dude,
Sheen?
You know what I wonder if he's ever seen is The Quick and the Dead. Sam Raimi.
Isn't that Sharon Stone? No.
Sharon Stone.
It is, right?
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio, Russell Crowe, and it's Sam Raimi, dude, before he did Spider-Man.
Whoa, I didn't know that was Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta rewatch that again. Dude, I need to rewatch Unforgiven again. It's been forever since I've watched it. I don't know what happened, dude, but dude, no idea where it came from. but it seems like everyone's been quoting Tombstone like a lot. I don't know, for the
Yeah.
past like maybe 10 years, do people have been quoting that a lot. I don't know, it's weird. But dude, I kind of started watching that more and more, and then I don't want to say put it on the back burner, but then I was like, oh dude, I can't remember Unforgiven or like
Unforgiven's great.
The Good, the Bad, and the
Oh,
Ugly. And dude, I had to I
yep.
rewatched The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I didn't realize how long it was. Oh my gosh.
Have you watched the other ones?
Oh
For
dude,
a few dollars more?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But dude,
Yeah.
they're so
Dude,
good.
I love westerns. So, but there's so many good, dude. Bone Tomahawk.
Bone
Have you ever
Tomahawk.
seen that?
No.
You are sitting there right now telling me you've never seen Bone Tomahawk?
No. Is that a classic? Is that a must?
Dude. Okay. Do not look up anything.
Okay.
Okay. I'm
Well,
just going to tell you.
I just got to look
Kurt
it up on
Russell,
Just Watch. Oh, okay, okay.
Matthew Fox talking about Lost.
Previously.
Oh God, who else? Yeah. Who else? Patrick Wilson. David Arquette's in it.
What the hell?
I'm just going to give you the genre. Okay.
Okay.
Remember, Kurt Russell's in it. It's a Western horror.
Whoa.
Dude, please. I need that. If we ever do a part 2,
Oh, we will.
it needs to be after you've watched that, and we can just talk about it. And anybody out there who's never seen it, dude, what's his name? Richard Jenkins is in it, the dad from Step Brothers.
Oh. Okay.
Dude, I'm telling you, Bone Tomahawk. I need to now know your thoughts on this movie. It's one of those ones I went in knowing literally nothing about it. I had a friend who's a writer recommend it to me, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go watch it. And I did the same thing you did. I tried to manage the expectations. I was like, didn't look up anything. I just was like, well, let me look up a poster. I want to see what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
Get a theme, right? And then I saw, oh, Kurt Russell, dude, I love Kurt Russell. And Patrick Wilson, I freaking love everything he's in. Dude, he's Ocean Master, man. I love him. Go Aquaman. But it's wild, dude. It's wild.
Bone Tom. Okay, the only thing that I have to do is I have to look it up on a website. It's called Just Watch. Do you use that?
No, I've never used it. I use a Is It Streaming? I think it's called Is It Streaming?
Oh, whoa. That's a new one. Okay. I got to bookmark that one. Yeah, I want to say it might be the same thing. Do you type in whatever movie you want and it'll tell you where it's streaming at in terms of like your like the streaming services?
Yeah,
Netflix,
yeah, and it'll tell you, could you buy it? Can you rent it?
Right.
Is it streaming? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bone Tomahawk, man.
Oh my gosh, I got to watch that.
It's worth a watch. It definitely is. Definitely. I set you up for another episode later for everybody now at home sitting on edge to listen to what your thoughts are on Bone Tomahawk.
Dude, you know what's so funny is Mark hits me up and he's like, hey, when are we going to do another episode? And I'm like, bro, and I was going to tell him to read Ready Player One yet. Did you read it yet?
Hey, have him read that and read Ready Player 2. It just came out.
Dude, I got to go pick that up. I
haven't read it yet. I just picked it up.
I don't think I can do the hardcover. I want the soft cover.
Yeah, it's a little more flexible when you're crunching it. So. I know, just from the rage.
Oh, dude.
I'm with you. I'm with you, by the way, on your thoughts and on that. I love that book, man. I read it so many times, and I'm gonna sound like an elitist, but yeah, the movie was a little disappointing. But
you know what?
Being fair,
right.
It's still a fun movie.
I'll say this. The one thing that I liked from it, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Okay, I'm in. This is it. Hopefully it kicks off. Was The Shining. Dude,
ooh, yeah,
I really enjoyed that, man.
Yeah,
that was really cool. I was like, okay, yep. I like this a lot. And I was probably Spielberg paying tribute to Kubrick or something.
I bet to Kubrick. Yep.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Dude, listen, again, being fair and trying not to be that guy and live up to the things I believe. Like, I liked it. It was fun. Was it the worst movie I've ever seen? Absolutely not. I can name a bunch of movies worse than
Hangover.
that. Iron Man 3. I'm about to destroy your comment section. Come at me. Anybody out there, that is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a lot of crappy movies.
I haven't even uploaded it yet, dude. I'm getting thumbs down, dude. What's going on?
I'm good. I know. Listen, you're welcome. These Marvel execs are going to come after you. Like, shut that guy up.
Oh, dude.
That was the worst that is the only movie I can remember in my life being in a movie theater and asking the people I was with if we can leave. Oh. And I've sat through some crap. I hate that movie. It is horrible, which
Wow.
really gets me worked up when people are like, "Oh, dude, Marvel is perfect and DC sucks." I'm like, have you watched that movie? You saw it. You're not just lying to me, right?
Wow. Wait, isn't that a John Favreau movie too?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't ever
Wow.
want to experience it again.
Interesting. That's crazy.
Dude, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Hey,
I can't. I'm sorry.
what did you call that thing with the whole media thing? Apple? What was it called?
I call it the Apple illusion. That's what I call it. Yeah,
Mm.
like because it's the so I remember when Apple. Why I blame Apple. I guess I should go back to this. Yeah, that would make sense to explain my idea. I remember. I'm old enough to remember when Apple hit the market hard
Ooh.
for everything that wasn't a computer. Right. I remember the first iPod. I remember it.
Yeah.
At that same time, they were not the first, or they were not the only ones to have something out on the market,
No.
right? They
No.
weren't. Dell at that time had one. I think it was called like the jukebox or something like that. Do you remember the
Creative.
Microsoft? Yeah. Do you remember the Microsoft Zune?
Yep. Dude,
Dude, I had a Zune.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Like it was so easy to add music.
Yeah.
Like the Dell one was so, it was literally just click and drag for Dell. That was it. That was all you ever had to
Yeah.
do. Boom, you're done. Like iTunes at that time, again, anybody out there fight me, sucked. The first like 3 iterations of iTunes were garbage. Like they were not good. And so, but here's the thing: is Apple, what they've always been good at, and what will always be good at, is giving the illusion of superiority and giving the illusion of your life will be better if you own this, right? In ways that may be true, but maybe not. But everybody wants to hang on and go, yes, you are so right. I am a better person for owning this product. And okay, maybe, but it's not just because it's like they're the best at advertising does not mean it's the absolute best. Like
Right.
it's just not. We can't say that. And again, I'm saying this to everybody out there for a fair shot that I am on my AirPods. My iPhone is right here on my MacBook Pro. Like I get it. I'm in. I have an Apple TV. I have an iPad. Okay. So you can't say that I don't experience it. Oh, he's a hater. I give them way more of my money than I should.
Yeah.
So, but I will not, I don't do it because like, dude, they're the best. I do it because it offers benefits and features that match the things that I need.
Yep.
Right. Like I shop that way, not, dude, you got to only own this. Like I'm not a brand like, dude, you don't wear Nikes, nerd. Like, okay. Like, yeah, why aren't you wearing your Reeves, bro? Like they got a little pocket on the
Oh my
side.
gosh. Dude, pay less. I love it.
Right. So to me that started, right? Apple really kicked it in gear. Not saying other companies don't do that. Everybody does that. That's marketing. But they really pushed it. That since that really started happening, since the iPhone and the iPod, it has been always everyone versus what is Apple doing. And props to them, that is where you want to be as a company, right? You want to be the ones that everybody's like, dude, look at ours compared to an iPhone. That's marketing. You won. Because then you're only competing with yourself. And Marvel did the same thing because, spoiler alert, it's Disney. Disney knows how to do that.
Yeah.
People don't realize Disney was a core investor into a lot of the things that Apple did, right? Pixar was an Apple, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody out there, but I'm pretty sure Pixar started as an Apple and Disney merger. Like they started these studios together. So, they know what they're doing. It's not secret, right?
Right.
And that's why there's a lot of consistency in the things that you see. And Marvel did it, and they hit the ground running. But they also weren't the first ones, right? Like they were not the first. Dude, we've got Keaton's Batman movies. We've got all the garbage Batman movies, but we've got a lot of stuff so they're not the first ones, but they're the first ones a lot of people remember because of how well they presented themselves.
Yeah.
Like, and they took a shot because Iron Man as a comic book reader was useless for many, 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 many years on comic books. I'll stand behind that. I'll fight anybody. Those comics were hot garbage. Again, I bought a lot of them. So I gave them my money to be disappointed. So I'm a hater because I experienced it and didn't enjoy it.
Right.
And they took this character that nobody really cared about and said, screw it. Let's throw it at the wall and see if it sticks, right?
Yeah.
If you've never seen any of the like making of stuff or stories about how they got that movie off the ground, you definitely should, man. Like Favreau knew Robert Downey Jr., right? Remember, he was a big name that kind of fell off because he he had some troubles and had some problems.
Right.
And dude, they had to take out an entirely different insurance policy on him to get him to be able to get into that movie. That was like a stipulation.
Wow.
Right. So it was all a gamble. It was all a gamble. And again, props to them for what they've done. I'm not discrediting it. But just because they have built this thing doesn't mean something else isn't valid. And when people, I feel, and this is going to be a fanboy of me, but when people look at these DC films, I can't help but believe that most of them are looking at them through a filter, through graduation goggles, right? Like this illusion of, well, it's not Marvel. Well, right here, if you did this, it would be more like Marvel. Man, I really wish they would do this and build this universe like Marvel. How about you just enjoy it? Why can't you just enjoy it? And that does tend to bleed into, I think, some creative experiences, right? If you're Warner Brothers, you don't care as much about the consumer experience as you are what's going to generate that value. And so if you see a company that's running it over here, you're like, they're going to be playing catch up the whole time, right? That's their job as a corporation, is to try to we've got to beat Apple. We've got to beat Marvel. We've got to beat Disney. That's because they're not the creative engines. So Marvel had the freedom to be like, Kevin Feige, Jon Favreau, go do whatever you want to do, because they're not competing against anybody else.
Yeah.
There's no expectation set for them. Anybody who else that steps up to the plate are now working against their expectations. And so, of course, that's going to bleed into creative control. You're going to have things like this whole new Justice League thing, right, that's happening, right? You know, the Snyder Cut. And, you know, there's a whole written out story and 3-part movie that Zack Snyder and Jeff Johns and these guys wanted to put together. And then Warner Brother, Zack Snyder had to step out. Like, you know, he had a family issue. They brought in Joss Whedon. Warner Brothers steps in and says, no, we don't want to do these things. Same thing that they did with what's his name?
James Gunn.
Well, yeah, James Gunn, but what's his name's Suicide Squad. They did it with Suicide Squad. Like, if you go read about like what Suicide Squad, what scenes were filmed and like completely filmed and cut, like things that would make a more cohesive film. Batman v Superman. If anybody else out there hates Batman v Superman, I implore you, please do me a favor. Just take a deep breath, forget your expectations, and go watch the director's cut. Just go watch the director's cut. About 20 some odd minutes more of movie, just feels more cohesive and feels like somebody telling a story that they wanted to tell. And it's because of creative control, right? And so I know I'm rambling, but like that's that Apple illusion to me, is like it's bled into media from consumer products as we started expecting it. It's the same thing with like Amazon. People believe that Amazon is the best retailer out there, when that's not necessarily true. Like, having worked in other retail jobs, like, and being a consumer, I buy a ton of stuff from Amazon. Like, I've had my bad experiences with Amazon for returns, for just pricing, for shopping. Like, you know, but we get this expectation that is not necessarily valid. We set the expectation higher than it should be. And, you know, you having worked Best Buy forever, right? You know that when people walk in, like, expecting something that this thing is never going to do. Right. And so I feel like as a society, we have allowed that to bleed into media, where it should never live. Media should not be compared to anything but itself. You should allow it that chance to tell its story, to do what it's supposed to do, to allow that person who created, who put their blood, sweat, and tears into it, to present to you what it is. Sometimes you get The Room, you get Tommy Wiseau, right? Sometimes you get Shawshank Redemption, but doesn't mean that they're not valid, right? Yeah. But why would I ever compare it? Why would I go into The Room and being like, dude, have you ever seen Shawshank? This movie sucks.
No, yeah, it's apples and oranges, right? Yeah,
exactly. It's just, they should live in media. To me, should be preserved to be that thing that is its own entity every single time. Even if it's within the same realm. Every Star Wars movie should be taken at what it's doing by itself. Yeah. Because it's somebody trying to do something and tell a story, and it's a collective of people working together to try to present something. And I just feel like some people really think, some of these creative people wake up. Some of these people think Rand Johansson woke up and said, I can't wait to piss off Star Wars fans today. Are you kidding me? Do
Mm,
you really think that's what he did?
yeah.
Or did he wake up and say, I have an idea and I hope people will follow me on this journey?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's where I say it's this Apple illusion. And I don't mean to blame them entirely, but they're the most modern person or not person, but entity that I can say that has pushed this belief and narrative in this type of structure. They're the most modern example of it. And I'm sure there's eons of it over time, right? Again, going back to Edison, doesn't mean his light bulb was the best, right? When somebody else was making it, but like, dude, why aren't you buying Edison's? You see Steve's over there, it sucks. Like, it's only got 2 phosphors. What a nerd.
Hey, do you think we can change the it's called the Apple illusion, that's what you call it, right?
Yeah, the Apple illusion is what I call
it. For 2020, or for last year, I guess you can say, I think it should be changed.
Yeah.
Can we call it the cyberpunk illusion?
Yes. Going forward, any media from the end of 2020 forward is now forever known as that. Wow. I agree. But dude, you hit it. You just nail on the head. That is people. That is our fault as consumers and fans.
Amen.
That is our fault.
Let me tell you. Oh my God, dude, we almost did 2 hours in. Okay, let me tell you something.
Oh,
check this out. Dude, I was all in with that game. Dude, they were bringing out Adidas signed on for Cyberpunk shoes. Dude, I bought a shirt. Dude, all the crazy pop toys. I was like, I can't. And, but dude, I was all in on the game. And I only watched one trailer. Going back how I normally am. And I was like, oh my God, dude, this game's going to be freaking crazy. Dude, I bought a gaming laptop for that game. But I'm glad I bought it, because... Yeah,
it serves other purposes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love this laptop. Dude, I've convinced one other person to buy it, and he loves it. So it's a cool little laptop.
It worked out.
It's beautiful. And, dude, it got delayed, right? I was... Dude, I usually use Google News. I don't really click too much unless if it like I'll just read the little snippets just real quick. Oh, okay, that's like the cliff notes of everything. Oh yeah, okay, cool. But if something like catches my eye, I'll click and read the article. But anything that had to do with Cyberpunk, dude, I was in. I had to read it. I had to find out what was happening or why it got delayed, and and I was like, oh come on, dude, it's got to be something.
Right.
The game comes out, dude. I was on the Adidas website, dude. I was ready to buy those shoes. Everything, dude. I was all in, dude. I was like, I want to buy the shoes and then freaking play the game. Dude,
were you gonna be Garth, like just Adidas out Pepsi can?
Dude, like, it's like people only do things just because they get paid.
Because they get paid, and it's really sad.
It's just really sad. Bro, I had to take Nuprin. Hey, you want to? Hey, dude, I said that the other day.
They're little yellow and different.
Dude, nobody knew what I was talking about. Bro, that happened twice, dude. I was like Nuprin and 1-800-COLLECT. I don't know if you heard that story yet. I told that with Josh, dude. I ended up talking to Josh, and dude, I told him that story about 1-800-COLLECT, and I was so embarrassed. Okay, but dude, I get the game, right? I took my laptop to work because, dude, we have like freaking the fastest connection in the world. Downloaded it, and then went home. Found out there was an update. So I'm like, okay, here we go. Freaking let that download.
Yeah.
And I go, babe, leave me alone. Just let me play this for just 2 hours and we're going to be good. And so, dude, I freaking locked myself in the room. I'm like getting going. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, we're going to be good. And dude, the first hour I spent, did you play the game at all? Have you played?
Okay. I almost did.
Okay.
And then I did what I don't normally do. I was like, all right, well, let me look it up. Let me look up some stuff. And I have not bought it because of that.
Okay. Dude, so I bought it on Steam. And they have a return policy. Do you know about that? Did you know they have a return policy? If
I
you
did not.
if you play the game within under 2 hours, you can return it.
Wow, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
they'll credit back to you. So, dude, I'm playing the game. This doesn't give anything away in terms of story. If anyone wants to play it, cool. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So
subscribe. Zevia. Go get it in any store.
Yeah. Dude, I start the game.
A small box.
Dude, I start the game. I hear the door unlock. Dude, Alicia comes in. What are you doing? And then she's like, "Oh, I want to see the game." And I was like, "Ah, okay, cool." So she's coming over here. She's watching me, and I'm customizing the character.
Oh,
dude, I must have spent an hour. It was so cool. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is cool." Oh, dude, you can
do everything, right?
Dude.
Yeah.
Everything. Dude, it was crazy. An hour, dude, customizing this character. Dude, I didn't even do that for Fallout, and I heard you can do some crazy stuff on Fallout. And dude, I was like, oh, I can have this. Oh, look at all these cool tattoos, dude. I was all in. I was so excited to play this game. I was like, every little thing. I'm not gonna rush it. I don't want to get straight to the game. I want to do everything the right way. Did it all cool. I start the game, dude. It's like that. I'm in it. I'm like, whoa, cool. Dude, you see the character like the first. I'm sorry. You pick what world you want. You can go into this kind of Mad Max environment, or you can kind of be like a hoodlum in the city, or you can be kind of like a what's the word? Corporate. A corporate person. Higher class, whatever you want to call it. So I did the one in the middle. So I was like kind of like a hoodlum character. I go into the game. And dude, you see your character. You're in a bar, like at this restaurant, whatever it is, and you see your character, and he looks at himself in the mirror, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, this is dope!" Right? And then all of a sudden, the character turns, looks at the bartender. Bro, you never see your character again.
No,
because it's all first person. You don't see it, and I'm like, "What the hell?" You start talking, dialogue, and everything, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, "Hold on." Pushed pause. Went to the settings, maxed everything out. Dude, it sounded like a jet.
Your house is glowing on a
dude,
heat
my
map.
fans. Dude, I have 2 laptop fans. I had to put them, stack them top and do my, dude, it was going crazy, dude. It was nuts. Dude, I turned on a fan just to put onto the freaking, oh, dude, it was not, no, I'm just kidding. I'm over exaggerating. But dude, I maxed everything out. Dude, I didn't notice anything else. I didn't notice a difference. I'm like, what the hell? Turned it off, turned it back on, saw the settings. It was all ultra, it was all maxed out. Nothing.
Yep.
Still the same thing. I'm like, come on, man. It's like, okay, maybe I got to get in this world. Dude, I go into the world and I go and do the first objective. And the first objective is like, you're going to go steal a car, right? And you're talking to like this kingpin person. And I'm like, dude, this dialogue is really bad. Like I just didn't feel it. Like in Red Dead, when you play Red Dead, dude, you feel like the characters like, oh, dude, okay, you can feel like, dude, they've been with this group for a long time or what, you kind of get involved, right?
You get immersed.
Right. And dude, I didn't get that from the game. I finally get to the car and I'm going to steal it. And then the cops pull you over. Dude, just like this. We got you now. Lay on the ground. Lay on the ground. Dude, nothing. There was like no passion behind it. No, like, get on the ground right now. Spread the light. Nothing, dude. Like somebody stealing the car, right? Like nothing. It was just like, hey, get on the ground.
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
This car gets stolen every Tuesday.
Dude, I turned it off, dude. I was like, hold on.
Wow.
Turned it off, waited, and hit up my buddy Kevin. Dude, I'm chatting with him, Google Chats. Hey, dude, did you play the game yet? And then he goes, no, I haven't played it yet. I'm waiting till Friday. Okay, let me know what you think. Dude, my coworker at work bought it. Hey, what'd you think? Dude, it's freaking sweet. Oh, man, this game's dope. What the hell, dude? What am I missing?
Yeah, something. Did I pick up the wrong game?
Dude, did I get
Am I getting
cyber?
cyber?
Dude, I'm getting CyberPUNK'd right now, dude, by freaking...
There's the title of the episode. Getting cyberpunked.
Getting cyberpunked. But dude, I was so sad. Dude, next day, didn't tell my buddy Kevin. Because he was going to rip me. Not mean, but he's like, what? Are you kidding me? He'll just freaking all caps. But then, dude, I returned it. I had an hour and a half into the game. Dude, I only played a half an hour into the game, dude, and I returned it. Bro, I told one person at work. Within that day, I told him early too. Within that day, people were coming up to my cubicle as if like I lost a family member. Hey, bro. Hey, I heard you returned the game. What happened? Why'd you return the game for?
It's gonna be okay. Things get better, man.
Hey, really? Hey, you didn't like it? What happened? Dude, no joke. The whole time.
I bet.
For real, dude, you didn't like it? Dude, didn't like it. It was I couldn't get into it. I don't want to hate it like No Man's Sky because dude, that's that dude. Hey, that's another story.
No, that's a whole nother episode in of itself.
Dude, previously, No Man's Sky.
Yeah, previously on Hating My Life.
Dude, but I was like, okay, I don't want to hate the game. I don't, because it's gonna be No Man's Sky. It's gonna get better. Yep. Supposedly it's gonna get better. But dude, like I remember you have this thing, Red Lobster. They're on the list, right? I remember that very well. And I was like, dude, I don't want to. Even though, let's say Red Lobster got better, or even though No Man's Sky got way better, bro, they gave me food poisoning really bad, and it frustrated me. It really frustrated me, and I just don't want to go back to it, even if it got way better.
You just can't. There's no coming back.
Right. And with Cyberpunk, I didn't want to do that. I was like, dude, I returned it. I'm just gonna wait till it gets better. And dude, I don't think it's gonna get better. Dude, that game is getting ripped apart, man.
Yeah.
And there's like lawsuits now.
It was already on like a 1-day sale, like Best Buy had. I get like those emails still. It was already on like one of those like deal of the day for like $30 off. I'm like, that's never a good sign.
Dude, it's crazy. And everyone, the people that have told me that they liked it. One person said that they had it for the PC and they really liked it. My buddy Kevin said he said he liked it. I don't know how he feels about it now, but some of the folks that were playing it on the new Xbox, the next gen, and they said like, dude, I don't have any problems with it. And it wasn't that I didn't see any problems with it in terms of like characters jumping all over the place or
right.
You know, people floating or something random, but it just didn't grab me the way it should have. You know, it's like, I don't know, with anything. I feel like there should have been something to be like, whoa, dude, this is, what world am I in right now? But dude, it was nothing.
But that goes back to, that was an expectation set, right?
Right. I fell into the hype.
It couldn't deliver. It couldn't deliver. And then, not saying the game doesn't have merits, right? We don't know. Like, you may never know if the game actually has merits, because no matter what you do, you're going to approach that game with a now forever, broke my heart.
Yeah. Dude, and you know what? People have always said, no, dude, No Man's Sky is dude, there's a reason to play it now. And I'm like, is there? I don't know, man. I spent $60 when it came out. Yeah, how much did you spend when it got better? You know?
Yeah. Oh, bro, I got it for free when I bought a string of Kellogg's.
Dude,
like,
I got it. Okay. Yeah, I got it for free with my AOL disc. Yeah, dude.
Oh,
even
bro, if they sent me one with a sample packet of Tide.
Dude, yeah, man. I just can't go back to it, man. It's
So I agree. Dude, I more than anyone on the planet, I get it. I've had my disappointments. I get it. I understand it. And I think honestly, that's what, having so many of those, because I'm so passionate and so easy to get passionate about stuff, right? Like I can jump into something before I even realize, like, wow, I'm probably way too obsessed with this. And so like, I've had to be like, dude, I'm setting my own self up for failure. Right. Yeah. And so, And so it's, but I will tell you this, it's allowed me to see things in I just enjoy things. Like I see them and I enjoy them.
Yeah.
And whether that's right for everybody, I don't know. I want everybody to be passionate about stuff, right? There's things I love about Star Wars and there's things I freaking hate about Star Wars, but I love it all because I get it, right? Yeah. Like it's just there and it's available. Like I love so many comic books and so many characters, but there's things I will give my money to and things I won't give my money to. So many movies and shows and stuff. So, like I know you talked about this a couple times, but like, I don't know if you even have dipped your toes in it yet, The Mandalorian, but like, dude, that's probably the worst one right now, I think, for people of like setting expectations for other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Like, have you, I can't remember from your last times you were talking about, have you
Yes.
jumped into it yet?
The
Okay.
last episode that I watched, I'm not even on season 2. I'm still on season 1. But the
Okay.
last episode I saw was um with Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed
Yeah.
shows up and they're in the that little quarry and they're shooting and then they fly
Okay.
off. That was the last thing
Yeah.
that I saw. And
Okay.
I mean, there's kind of been a spoiler because I listened to this person's podcast, but like I know Bill Burr's in it, and I'm really excited to see him. So I
Yeah,
don't
he's
really know
great.
who he is or what he does.
Yeah.
Gina Carano, I know she's promoted
Yeah.
it, and I've
Yeah.
always been a follower of her. She's been great, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're good or bad,
Yeah.
but I'm kind of I need to jump back on that
But
and
yeah,
watch
so there
it.
you go. So like you're in the perfect position because man, again, being a rabid Star Wars fan and being a rabid Star Wars lore fan, right? Like, I have
Yeah,
comics on top of comics. You guys I think were with me when we were in one of the I think Mark mentioned it when we were watching about the Star Wars, right? Like remember when that series launched at WonderCon? And it was like the story of the original I don't remember if you were with us at that one, but I know Mark was like, we went to the panel and watched them like announce it. Like I'm in it, man. Like I'm in whatever media, whether it's the shows or games and comics and books.
right.
And but because of that, I can be like, dude, you've got to calm down for some of these people. Like it's not the greatest thing that's ever happened. Again, I'm about to fill up your complaint system. Dude, I love The Mandalorian. I love it. I think
Yeah.
it's great. It's a spaghetti Western with Star
Yes.
Wars. You can't beat that. It's basically like The Mandalorian right now is somebody finally made a really great Firefly series, like what it should have been. And I
Oh,
love it.
I
And I
love
love it. But
Firefly.
here's the thing: I love Firefly, but it didn't get its
No.
chance, right? Like it never got its fair shot, and I love it. And so, like to me, that's what I'm putting my eyes on. I was like, okay, cool. Like this is what the Firefly could have been. Like so
Do you think
what?
Firefly was made for it sounds kind of weird, but for just those fans like, oh, this is mine. Not everyone knows about this. This is so cool. Do you
Like
think
that
that?
niche thing? I think
Kinda.
kind of. I think kind of. I could see that. Yeah.
Dude,
I also think it was just ahead of its time. People weren't ready.
yeah, dude. It's
People
such a
just
good
weren't ready.
show.
Right. At that time, like the shows that you had and stuff were just they were just telling a different generations of stories, right? Like, and
Yeah,
it just I think it was just ahead of its time, unfortunately. Like, I feel
right.
like if that dropped right now and nobody knew what it was, like if it wasn't like, oh my God, Firefly's coming back, which is setting bad expectations. If it was just a show right now, people would love it because it
Yeah.
fits into a world of media that's very similar right now. But anyway, so like, dude, like it's great. I love it. The music, phenomenal. Like the direction, the storytelling. I love all the different directors they've got doing episodes. Like, it's so cool to see everybody's different take. Cameos are great. Visuals are great. Star Wars lore is great.
Dude.
Okay, dude, I would rate the show after the second season personally like a solid like 8. I would not give it a
Mm.
10.
Oh wow.
And so most people right now are probably losing their minds. Like, what are you talking about? It's the best television that's like ever happened. Okay, like it's good, but it's also disappointing in a lot of aspects. Like, here comes the hate mail. Like, dude, the last episode, people have of the second season, and no spoilers,
Hmm.
are losing their minds, absolutely losing it. And I think it's cool. I think it's real cool. But I also would stand here and say that I think it's also a cop out. I don't think it's as cool as people make it out to be, and they could have done better. And
Mm.
so when you watch this, part 2, you and me talking again, hopefully it'll be on you watching Bone Tomahawk, and we'll talk
Oh
about
yes.
what the end of season 2 so that you can see. And I just, again, we put these things on pedestals that are unfair.
I'm
Because if
actually
you do,
go ahead.
so many people have probably, if I had to guess, have told you, I've already heard it on your show. Dude, you got to watch Mandalorian. Dude, you got to watch it. That's just every moment of that is building up cyberpunk.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. Right. And I kind of did that too with Ready Player One. I
Yeah,
guess.
I did too. I
Yeah.
allowed it to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
But
But again, if it hadn't been called Ready Player One, I probably would have enjoyed it more, right? Like, it's not a bad movie, dude. Visually, it's stunning. Like, it's fun. Like you said, the Shining stuff was dope. Like at the end, seeing like all the cool characters and stuff. Like, just there was lots of things that were fun. But I unfortunately, because it's based off of another media, I instinctively am comparing it in my head.
Yeah, it should have been called Control Alt Delete. I don't know.
There you go. Love it. Love it.
No, I'm just kidding.
This
No.
movie's called Task Manager.
You know what's weird? I feel like the same way that you felt with Iron Man 3 was the same way I felt with Ready Player One. And it has, I mean, obviously it's books and whatever, but it was just kind of like, I like sat, I was like, okay, come on, man. Give me something. Give me something, man.
Dude, honestly,
what is going on?
I could see that because it wasn't Favreau, by the way, that did Iron Man 3. Remember, it's Shane Black.
Oh,
and that's just as big.
Yes,
that's
you're
just
right.
as big a disappointment as Spielberg doing
dude.
Ready Player One. Dude, Shane Black,
Predator, dude.
Lethal Weapon 1 and 2.
Right.
Dude, he did The Last Action Hero. That movie's so good.
Dude,
he did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, man.
Hey, okay. That's probably the reason why Favreau used Robert Downey Jr. That's like by far my favorite Robert Downey Jr. film.
Dude, it's
so
amazing.
good in that. And dude, I've even told people, I was like, dude, you ever seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang? And they're like, huh? Dude, I go, bro.
Dude, nobody's ever seen it. Nobody. It makes me so sad.
Val Kilmer, amazing in that.
Clutch Val Kilmer. Dude, that's like, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's where I know Val Kilmer like really from, other than Batman. Like, it's from that.
Wow.
Yeah, like I know he's in like I know people know him from like Tombstone and all these other things, but like, dude, just my earliest memories are Batman and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Really? Wait, hold on. What about The Saint?
Yeah. Dude, I didn't see The Saint until years later.
Wow. Okay. Oh yeah. Man, he's great in that film.
Oh yeah, for sure. Kilmer. No, I love Val Kilmer, man. Don't get me started. I love that dude. But I'm just saying, like, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, I'm with you. That is just flies under the radar. It's also a wonderful Christmas film. I'll fight to the death on that.
Really? It is? Okay.
It's a Christmas movie.
Okay. I think I need to rewatch that then. I didn't really see it as a Christmas movie. Maybe all right. Okay. Yeah. I want to stop. I'll probably rewatch that then. Dude, I mean, there's no hate on the movie at all. It's such a it's kind of over the top at some points.
It really is. But dude, the chemistry between them together,
yes,
is just it's perfect.
Dude, Val Kilmer is freaking, gosh, amazing.
I don't know. I always love that scene where he's like, I've tried not to swear too much on this, but he's just like, when he's telling him, like, look in the dictionary, right? It's like, you see it, it's like if you look, I think it said, like, if you look up idiot in the dictionary, you know what you find? He goes, well, a picture of me? No, the definition of idiot, which you fucking are. That dude gets it every time.
Dude, Val Kilmer, man. That's so funny. So what is it then? The cyberpunk illusion, right?
Yeah, the cyberpunk illusion. Yeah, dude. Or actually, that should be the cyberpunk delusion.
Oh, man. I wish, dude, that game was rough, dude.
I get it. And it's sad, too, because, again, expectations are put on CD Projekt Red, who had knocked out the Witcher games. Dude. And those things are gold.
Hey, there's 2 games that I hear about all the time, and I've never played them. And Mark's going to freaking kill. We keep talking about Mark. Mark, hey, Mark, what up?
I love that dude.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Part two is us just yelling at Mark. Part 3 is where we talk about all this stuff again.
Dude, I'm just going to do clips of just saying, and Mark and Mark at.
Dude, I told you before, I want to do like a mystery science theater. I just want to be the guy in the back. Like, you're actually going to talk to Mark. I just want to be there to be able to be like, that's so stupid. Just to mess with him. Star Trek sounds like the Prime Directive sucks.
Hey, you got to watch it. He has a Twitch channel now.
Oh, you told me. I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah.
I love that dude.
He's so silly. He's like coming up with all these artsy ideas, which I love. So he's all in with it. Yeah, man. The cyberpunk illusion.
Shout out to Mark for being a good sport and being a fun guy.
Dude, him and I message each other just about every day. He's like, "Hey, dude, check this out. Hey, check. What do you think about it?" Oh, dude, he's all in with this channel, which is cool, man. Because he was like,
dude, he's the only guy that could have done what he did on your first episode, where he's like, playing that game. He's like, hold on, these people don't think I'm good. Give me a second.
Dude.
Dude, he's the only human being that can pull that off.
Dude, I was ready to turn off my mic, dude. I was like laughing into a
No,
pillow.
I wouldn't say
Dude, I couldn't believe he said that.
it's because
I've
it's him,
never
man.
heard of that, dude. But dude, going back to it,
Anyway,
Dark Souls and Witcher. Those are the two games
ooh,
that people talk
ooh.
about. They're like, dude,
All I'm,
they're perfect. They're such
ooh,
good games. Like, okay, but I've
okay,
never played
okay,
them.
okay. First of all, if you if you have angst and anger towards your 3DS, like you have PTSD towards your 3DS from Majora's Mask, dude, be careful whatever you play Dark Souls on. You may throw it out your front window.
Dude, that's what I hear.
Do you remember Justin Moore from Best Buy Geek Squad? He's
Justin.
longer hair. He was I think he was a volunteer firefighter at that time as well. He worked Geek Squad for a while. It might have been after you left.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Anyway, that's like his favorite game, dude. Like his favorite game. He always used to tell me, and I remember him telling me like how much money he spent on replacing controllers because he would just break them because he was
Jesus.
so frustrated.
Dude, you know what's
But it's his favorite game.
I did have. You know what's crazy is it. I know how you are with your things, and I'm very similar. Like a lot of my friends are. They've said like, "Hey, John." Like I remember I was playing Gears of War, and they were like, "Hey, Johnny, how many controllers do you go through from the lifetime of your Xbox?" And I'm like, "One. I've only had one." They're like, "Shut up." I was like, "Yeah, I've only had one." And they're like, "Dude, I've gone through like 6." And dude, I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Dude, how are you playing? Are you pouring water on it?" And dude, they're
Are
just
you playing in your bathroom?
dude.
You're not supposed to do that.
And it's dude, what's crazy is, dude, I can hear them play and slamming the what do you call it? The buttons
Yeah, the
down.
joysticks,
Yeah,
the buttons.
and I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like,
Listen, I get frustrated, but
yeah.
dude, like, I spent money on this stuff.
Yeah, dude. And dude, even with like discs, when I buy the game, dude, once I'm done, take it out, pop it in.
Put it in the thing, dude. Thank you, right there.
I have
That's,
to. Dude,
you have to
I
because
freak out when
anything
they're
else
mixed
is
matched.
unacceptable in modern society.
Dude, and that was like my selling point. I had like had two really funny selling points whenever we used to recommend coverage on the discs. I was like, right? I was like, dude, do you leave your discs around? Like, or do you put them back in the case? You know, it's like, dude, just you have coverage. You have your coverage. You know, it'll get replaced or whatever. It was like that. And then like for strategy guys, it was like, dude, you're going to take a break, right? You want some reading material when we go to the bathroom?
Yeah, there you go.
Dude, buy, what was it?
Buy
Oblivion.
It's got pretty pictures, dude.
Yeah, buy this Oblivion freaking strategy guide, dude. You're going to need it.
Listen, buy this $40 strategy guide and it'll save you breaking a $60 controller.
Dude, just don't go to the last page, dude. It's a spoiler. Don't do it.
No.
Oh, that's so funny.
Dude, the Witcher games are great. Witcher 3 is an impressive game.
That's what I
Very
hear,
impressive.
man.
That's just the term I can use. But I mean, they had a lot of material to use because it's a book series. Right. And it's a very well-written and incredibly good book series. So you have a lot of material to be able to use, you know? And so, but I'm not knocking them. CD Projekt Red is one of the best, coolest companies out there. Like, you know, they make their games like DRM free, which, you know, basically means like, dude, you buy it and if somebody wants to pirate, they're like, whatever. Like, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. Like, we just want people to play our cool stuff. Like, they put out all this extra DLC and they just did it like for free. Their games still come with like booklets. Like, at least the Witcher games came with like an actual booklet, like you never used to get. You know, used to get in every video game before, and then they stopped doing that.
Dude,
like, there's a really cool company, but
dude, let me tell you something. We're probably, dude. It's probably like 9 o'clock your time, dude. Aren't you?
Nah, you're good. We're good.
What I was gonna say is, dude, I for the Switch, I stopped buying the physical game, dude. I lost my mind because when the first game that I bought was Breath of the Wild, and dude, I bought it before I even had the Switch.
Yep.
Because Best Buy was having a deal, plus Gamers Club was leaving. And so it was like $39 plus a discount from the $39, and then I had a $20 reward zone.
Dude, how could you say no?
Dude, I bought it.
That's how they get you, man.
Dude, I looked at it and I was like, oh my god, dude, I can't wait to play it. Dude, I traded in almost almost all of my 360 games, dude, and my 360 itself, right? Because I wanted the Switch bad, and I was like, I gotta, I was like, dude, I'm gonna get. And dude, my buddy, one of the guys that was there, that was at GameStop, he was like, dude, how much you want for these games? And I was like, do you want you want Viva Pinata, dude? Are you sure?
Dude, I would buy Viva Pinata from you right now. That game is so dope.
Oh, dude.
Like Fusion Frenzy on the original Xbox.
Dude, I ended up trading a bunch of games. I kept some games that I knew they're going to be tough to find, like sets. Yeah, dude, I have like a handful of games. But, dude, when I got it, dude, I opened the game up, and there was nothing in there. Dude, it was just no. It was just the game. The little, the little SD, whatever, the chip.
The little cartridge that if you put it in your mouth, tastes bad.
No book, nothing. And I was so heartbroken, dude.
I know.
They didn't give you a map, nothing. I was like, come on, man. That's why I got real stoked when I bought Red Dead, because, dude, they gave this big-ass map.
Yep.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. I'm a sucker for that type of stuff.
Listen, you know me. You've seen the stuff, and it's only gotten worse since the last time you saw me, because now I have room to put everything.
Yeah.
I say that when I don't actually, but I do. I'm with you. I still do physical because I'm a paranoid freak. Like, what if the internet just goes out and I can't ever have internet again? I got to be able to play this game, not thinking through that probably means there's no power and that I'll not be able to play my Switch, but we won't get into that. So I still buy physical.
Dude, I just freaked. I put myself in a weird scenario thinking about that. I was like, holy crap, dude, what if I can't play it? And I had to like, okay, wow.
Yeah, you got to come back to life being like, okay, if the internet doesn't exist anymore, there's probably not power, so you're probably only going to be able to play for about 2 hours anyway. So, but I was like, no, I got to have my disc. So I still buy them. But, dude, so it's funny you bring this up, and you mentioned something a little bit ago that I've been doing lately is, dude, what you do with TV and movies, I do with video games. I don't buy new video games unless it's Nintendo. Nintendo is the only company that I buy them when they're new. Like, and that's honestly because they don't ever change in price anyway. Like, whether they're 10 years old or not, like, they're about the same price.
Yeah.
But I don't buy new games, dude. I honestly wait until they are like deal of the day or clearance games, and I just buy games in bulk, and then I go back and play them. And usually by that time, I've gotten like the Game of the Year edition, the Ultimate Megatron edition that comes with like, like every DLC and parts. Maybe it even comes with another game. Like, and I do that, and then I go through and I play it because I've spent like no money and by that time have no expectation. I'm like, oh man, that looks cool. Like, let me pick it up. Like, I just did that with Rage 2. Dude, I picked up Rage 2 for like $5 at Best Buy, and for the Xbox and so I played through. Dude, I played through the whole thing and loved it. And because even the parts I hated, I spent $5 on the game.
Right.
I was like, dude, this thing is great. Like, I just got like $20 worth out of this game.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Dude.
And dude, I have a stack, like a literal stack of games that I'm not buying big titles. I just buy them when they're cheap, and then I play it.
Yep. Yeah, dude, and it's hard. I mean, I would probably say that's the last couple of games that I bought that were at full price was Cyberpunk, but I returned it. Thank the Low. And then Red Dead. That was the last time I bought a full price game. I mean, the other one is going to be like Grand Theft Auto when it comes out. I mean, I've never really been disappointed with those games, I mean, even though it's kind of the same thing, but they've always like, dude, it's been a tradition of mine.
Right. But, they've hit a certain hit a certain key points. Like they check off certain boxes every time.
Right.
Yeah. Like I'll be that way when like Diablo 4 comes out. Like I'll buy it and I'll play it. Like, like no matter what, like it's going to hit boxes that I know that like, yeah, dude, that's going to definitely do this. Boom, boom, boom.
Right. Yeah, dude. And and even with, you haven't bought a new movie in forever. I think, you know what? The last movie I bought was Baby Driver. That was the last movie I bought in 4K.
That's a great new movie to buy.
Dude, and speaking of Edgar Wright, I was telling my buddy, I was like, dude, I don't care what that dude does. Like, and I don't want to say I'm against, but like, if his movie doesn't go into the theater and you have to like get it through Amazon or whoever, Apple, whatever it is, dude, and it's like $50 to like rent it, dude.
Yeah. I agree.
All in. I have to, dude.
I agree.
Love his movies.
He's great.
Man. Yeah.
He's great, man.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
All in.
I mean, he did what you call it? Even though I hate sometimes on the Marvel stuff, dude, he did Ant-Man, and Ant-Man was phenomenal.
I thought he backed out from that.
I know he. Well, the story is his. He didn't direct it, but he co-wrote it with like 2 other people, I think.
Oh, okay.
So like I credit him for like part of the writing. Dude, it feels like an Edgar Wright type film. He didn't direct it, you're right, but like I know he wrote it, or at least co-wrote it.
I think he would have taken forever to direct that. Because, dude, he has such weird, like, camera angles and... Yeah, dude. I could... man, dude, you know what's funny is I was watching that. Actually, no, I should say I was listening to it. I was listening to it at work. And, dude, have you ever listened to a movie?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I put on movies a lot. And if it's not How I Met Your Mother, I put on movies in the background when I'm, like, working. Because, like, all of a sudden... Like if it's familiar, I'm not paying attention to it. I just know it, and it's like gives you that like background noise, but something that's like engaging, and like you'll chuckle at something, and realize you weren't even watching. You just like know what's happening.
Oh, dude, I'm a freaking psycho at work because I'll listen to The Office all day, right? And dude, I'm just freaking losing it at work. And awesome. Dude, there's certain things that you kind of have to watch. But there's dialogue that's happening in the background that you have no clue because there's something that's happening where it's like, it's making you feel like, oh, that's cool. But then there's a joke being said in the background that you have no clue about. Right. And that happens a lot in The Office. And dude, I've caught it. And I'm like, whoa, I got to go back to that. Yeah. And dude, it's silly. And plus you'll hear stuff. Like I remember the reason why I started doing that was because of Back to the Future. Because Back to the Future won like best sound, won an Academy Award for the best sound. Yep. And I listened to it and I was like, whoa, dude, it's crazy. I completely understand why. It's a great movie to listen to. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, man. Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah. Oh, man, dude, funny Back to the Future. Dude, almost 3. Okay, go ahead. So, a couple of things. I know we're getting there. We're about to get there. If anybody's going to be listening, so this is for the people that are eventually listening to this. We're sorry. Wake up. Like we're good now. Well, this is just our warm up. Let me hit record now. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let me know when we're going to start. All right. So hey, everybody. No. Welcome to my channel. Okay. So you've done a couple of like top lists so far, like you've been doing with some people, right? Yeah. So one thing that I wanted to throw out, because I'm all about the controversial. If people listening haven't noticed it yet, I want you to come fight me. Like, dude, like and subscribe, and so that you can comment and tell them, dude, don't ever have this dude on ever again. Like, why are you talking to this guy? He says a bunch of stuff and he has no idea what he's talking about, and he hates human beings and fun and happiness. Listen, so dude, I want to give you what I think is the top 5 most overrated movies of 2019 and 2020. 2019, 2020. Okay. So I did 2019 and 2020. You said overrated? Overrated. Ooh, okay. Like, people hang their hats on this stuff, man. Like, they put it on pedestals. Like, dude, if you don't love this, like, and I cannot get on board. Like, I just cannot. Hold on, before you tell me. I did 2019 and 2020 because 2020 was a weird year. Like, so I'm just gonna mashing them together. Hold on. So you gotta give me your top 5 for that, and then afterwards you gotta give me a top 5 for anyone that's unfamiliar with the comic book world. If you're to be like, dude, if you want to start reading comics, these are the 5 that I'd recommend. Okay. Yeah. Got it. Okay. All right. Let's hear it. No particular order. Okay. Okay. But these are my top 5, like, just crazy overrated movies of 2019, 2020. All right. Okay. Prepare for your show to get canceled. You're gonna get the plug pulled. Right, like, dude, Discord's gonna kick you off. Right. You're gonna go. Boo! Yeah. Hey. So I think number 1. Okay. First one. I'm coming out of the gate strong. All right. You ready? Okay. Bro, Parasite. Never seen it. But okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. No, you're good. Let's do it, dude. It won, Academy Award or whatever, right? And like, dude, and what's his name? Bo Jung-koon, or I apologize to anybody if that was offensive. I think that's what I remember his name is. I love him, dude. The host, like, he's done so much good stuff. Yes, like, he's so good. Yes. Oh God, I love Snowpiercer. Yeah, dude, I gotta watch the show.
I haven't watched the show either yet.
Mm,
I'm afraid. I'm afraid because I love the movie so much.
yeah.
Um, dude, I don't get it. It's good. It's a good movie.
Hold
It's
on,
filmed well. He's a great director. He's smart, but I don't get it.
okay.
I don't get why it's so monumental. I think I'm missing something.
Mm,
And people keep talking about like, oh, it's what it stands for and what it means. Dude, no. Like I've watched the whole thing. I watched it twice. So any of these movies,
wow.
by the way, I've watched to be able to like analyze it. There's only one movie on here I didn't watch more than once because I physically couldn't watch it more than once. But I watched it more than once to like get it. You know, like did I miss something? Because sometimes you gotta re-see it, right? Like especially movies that have deep messages. You're like, okay, I'm done trying to find something. Now I just want to feel the movie, right?
Right.
I don't get it. I don't get Parasite.
I'll say this, dude. I don't going back to my rule, dude. I have no idea what it's about. I have
did the
no
same
clue.
thing. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I specifically did not look up a single thing because people said, dude, just you got to see it, which usually to me means like something crazy is going to happen, right? Or like you don't want the spoiler. You got to just wait. I don't get it.
Hey.
It's good. It's a good film, and I'd watch it again. But there's no way I would tell you, holy crap, this thing, if this doesn't win the Academy Award, like, burn it down.
Oh, man.
Like, no, dude, it's not that good.
Dude.
In that aspect.
I have a coworker who was really excited to watch it. I was like, hey, it's on Hulu. He goes, what? He goes, I'm signing up right now. He wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
I saw him.
And people go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over this movie, and I don't get it.
Yeah, dude, I know. And the thing dude, all I've heard, dude, this movie's phenomenal. Do you know what it's about? And I'm like, no, don't tell me, please. And then they're like, okay, yeah, just go into it. Okay.
Yep.
The only person that I've heard so far, besides you now, is one of my coworkers. And he goes, hey, did you watch Parasite this weekend? He asked me because I hyped him up on a Friday, right when we're about to leave, that Parasite was on Hulu, right? And he goes, hey, did you watch Parasite? I was like, dude, I didn't, man. I don't know. I don't know what I said. And then I was like, hey, did you watch it? And he goes, bro, movie was stupid. And dude, and dude, I was like, dude, when he said that, dude, it was just like exactly, dude, I just lost it. And I go, dude, don't even tell me why. I was like, don't tell me why, because it's gonna lead me into what it's gonna be about, why I shouldn't watch it. But I like that you have a different opinion on it. That's interesting. Yeah. And I was like, because everyone keeps saying that it's like the best movie that they've ever seen in a long time, you know, a foreign film. And I was like, okay. So I don't know. Maybe some folks haven't seen a lot of foreign films. I don't know, but
that's what I'm thinking. I've seen a ton because I love Korean films, man. Korean films are so good. Or like, dude, I watched The Platform. That movie is. I
still need to watch that. That's a Spanish film, right? Or German or something like that?
Yeah. Dude, right now, write it down. That's number 3 on the list of movies that you're going to watch and we're going to talk about.
Okay. I'll put that in there.
Oh, I guess that would be number 2. I got a third one for you if you haven't seen it.
Okay.
So, but yeah, dude, Platform. Bro, incredible. Anyway, okay. So I came out of the gate strong, Parasite. Okay. Dude, number 2, Us. Jordan Peele.
Okay. Dude, I watched that. Okay, let's hear it.
I don't get it. It's good. It's enjoyable and it's fun. The acting is incredible, but the story is just kind of bleh. Like it gets too weird to be enjoyable for me.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot because I enjoy super weird crap.
Me too.
Right? If Sunshine is in my top favorite movies of all time, like you got to know I enjoy weird stuff. But the movie grounded itself, right? The movie makes you believe that it's so grounded so that when this happens, it's like, boom. But to me, that just blew it up in the wrong way. I was like, okay. Like, so you're telling me you just walked down some stairs not too long and now you're in an entirely different society? Like, I don't know. Just didn't love it, dude. Don't get it. Don't get why it was like monumental when Get Out was so good.
Oh, man.
And people compare it to Get Out, and I don't get that because that movie, not even close to comparison.
Yeah.
Not even close. Can't even touch Get Out as far as how good that movie was. So, Us, don't get it.
Okay.
Don't get it. But it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like, it was, dude, the scene when they go to the neighbor's house, like all of that was wild.
Ugh.
So good. I was on the edge of my
goosebumps.
seat.
Yeah. Are you talking about with Tim Heidecker?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Dude, edge of my
he
seat.
was weird, man.
But I also still don't think that movie was that good. Okay. Midsummer.
Okay. No, I can see that. Go ahead.
Okay. I love A24.
Yes.
Right? Like that production company. Dude, The Witch is in like one of my top movies of all time, both for horror, for fiction, for comedy. I don't care, whatever. Rank it anything. I'll tell you it's one of the greatest movies ever. Right? The Lighthouse, loved it. All these different movies. Dude, Midsummer, I just don't get it. I felt it was good. It was beautiful. The acting was great. It was creepy. I was on the edge of my seat. But I left that movie, like I watched it and I went, okay. Like my first reaction is like, okay. I was just like, I don't get it. I don't get why it's and again, not saying it's not a good movie. None of these, there's only one that I'm going to tell you, two maybe, that are not good movies. But yeah, you know, like Parasite's a good movie. Us is a good movie, Midsummer. But I don't get why they're so important to people.
Oh, okay. No, I don't really consider it important.
And well, that's when I say overrated.
Oh,
right?
okay,
like,
right,
because
right.
Again, like you were talking about, like Parasite.
Yeah.
Dude, like people come out of the wood. Like, dude, if I'm sitting there and I said the word Parasite, somebody would pop out of a tree, like, bro, you seen Parasite?
Yeah.
Like, dude, where'd you come from? Like,
yeah.
Right? And Us was like that, and Midsummer is still like that. People go nuts over it.
Did you watch? Did you say Hereditary?
I love Hereditary.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Because that was the same director, and that did Midsummer. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I know. Dude, that movie. So Toni Collette, love her. I
have to watch her and everything after that. After Midsummer, I've never seen her in a movie.
Out. She's amazing in Knives Out.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, I love Toni Collette. Anything she touches, she's phenomenal.
I'm thinking about ending things.
Ooh.
Did you watch that?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Man.
Yeah.
Weird.
So,
okay, go ahead.
Midsummer. Okay. I don't get it.
Yeah,
Sorry, I know.
It was
people come at me.
It was eerie, man.
Open up your comment section. And here's the thing. It is. You're right. It's eerie, but it felt just flat. It felt flat.
Yeah.
Like it hit an ending and it just flat. I don't get it. Like where it built up, it didn't pay off. There you go. That's the best way I can explain it. Is what it built up to, I feel like it didn't pay off.
Dude,
because the buildup was so strong.
You know what's really weird about that director is, dude, he did these two sound effects, these two noises that people make. And Hereditary was... Right? And dude, my coworker kept doing that to me, and I was like, I kept getting the chills. And the other one was... It was like... Or it was like this weird sound of like breathing in, or... It was like something like that. And dude, we had this freaking electrician come to our company and work on something, and he did that sound.
No,
that not the clicking of the mouth, but like the
breathe
or whatever it was, right? And dude, I looked at my buddy Rob like, "Are you freaking kidding me right now, dude?
Dude, we gotta go."
I was like, "Did you tell that dude to do that?" And dude, he just looked at me and he lost it. He thought it was so funny because I looked at him almost like a camera tilt from Edgar Wright's movies, just like, are you kidding me, dude? What's going on?
Man.
Yeah, dude. Okay, Midsummer. All right, Dose.
Again, beautiful film, well executed, fell flat, didn't pay off. That's my argument for it. Yeah. Okay, these last two.
Oof.
One of them I only watched once, and I can only watch it once, and I will never watch it again.
Ooh.
And I didn't hate it as much as some people do. This seems to be a very polarizing movie, but the people on the other side will like physically fight you if you don't agree. Like it got robbed of like an Academy Award or blah blah blah, right? Or an Oscar, whatever it is. Uncut Gems.
Oh damn! Really?
Dude, that movie is terrible. It's terrible.
But wait, why'd you think it was terrible though? I'm just curious.
Okay.
Do you think it was just almost like blindness?
Because for most, I love blindness. I compare every movie to blindness. No. All this has been lying to you. Everything I do is compared to blindness.
No.
So,
blindness is really about DC characters.
Dude, that's it. I compare every DC film to blindness. I compare every Goosebumps book. Dude, Say Cheese and Die is ranked right below blindness. Like, there was a lot of the movie. I would say the first third of the movie was like I was engaged in. I was like, okay, they're building to something. I don't know what it is, but I'm in. This is weird, right? And like it's feeling weird. And this character, like, man, Adam Sandler played this character great. Like he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Like he played him so well, right?
Yeah.
And like I was like, oh, okay. First third, okay, I'm in. Second third, I'm like, what are they doing? They haven't built up anymore. They're flatlining. Okay, you know what that means? They're gonna just they make you feel comfortable because the final third, that third act is gonna just boom, gut punch you, right? It's gonna explode.
Spoilers.
Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, spoilers, it doesn't happen. The third act does change the way the story is told, and it does have things that happen, right, that make you go, like, to some people I could see it, like, whoa! But I was already so detached from it by that point that I was like, Jesus. Like, okay, fine. Like, it was more like the movie was ending, and I was like, cool, good. Like, and that made me really sad because the first third of the movie, I was like, kind of like nervous, you know, like I felt really uncomfortable and nervous.
Yeah.
And then I lost that nervousness because I was wanting it to move along. And I say that also that I'm also a person that I generally want movies to be longer than they are. I hate people like, God, that movie took forever. Like, dude, I wish movies could be so much longer because there's so much more I know they could put into it. Like, do a series instead, right? Like,
yes.
I'm that guy. I'm always like, oh man, if that was just a series, like, dude, like right now, if I can't tell you how many times I've had this argument and conversation that they need to stop making Hellboy movies and make an HBO or Showtime series of Hellboy and the BPRD. You know, freaking good that show would be of every week doing all these like H.P. Lovecraft, like macabre stories where you've got this cool superhero and this team of agents and they're doing crazy crap. You can't jam that in to a 2 or 3 hour movie.
No.
Anyway, so it just lost me, man. I couldn't stay involved and I couldn't stay connected to the characters and the world they were building. And so when the final third like act hit, I was just over it and done and ready to be gone. My girlfriend got lost in the first third act. She was like, this movie sucks. We need to leave. I hate it. So
previously on Uncut Gems.
Previously on never getting her to go to a movie theater with me again. So and I let her pick the movie too, and her brother had recommended it. She's like, oh, we gotta go see Uncut Gems. Because I barely recommend movies sometimes, like, because I'm like worried that I'm gonna build it up, and she's like, that sucked, and I'll never get another shot, right?
Yes.
And so I let her pick, and she's like, yeah, let's go watch Uncut Gems. And so she couldn't be mad at me; she was just mad at the world for it existing. But anyway, dude, like, there were people like violently, like, it got robbed for Academy. The director, like Adam Sandler, dude, that movie wasn't good. So, Uncut Gems. Okay, it's the last movie, bro. Close out your comment section. This movie is not good. I'm sorry. Ooh. It's not good. And I came out of the movie theater with a high.
Oh, damn! You watched it in the theater.
I watched it in the theater, bought it.
Oh.
Watched it a couple more times, and now I don't like it. So people out there would be like, "No, bro, he's a hater." No, I bought it. I own it. I spent money on it twice. I went to the theater and bought it the day it came out on 4K. Okay, so if you'd asked me right after watching it, I'll be like, dude, 9 out of 10.
Wow.
9.5. Ask me now, 5, maybe 5.
Oh wow.
Maybe 5.
That's just you being nice.
Avengers Endgame. That's how we end the story. That's how we end the podcast. You hang up on me.
Closing time.
Yeah, you cannot stay here.
Dude, can I want to try to make this very short and sweet. And you probably heard it already. Oh, no. Unless you didn't listen to the episode with Josh. But
I did. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, my buddy Will, the one I talked film with, he took me to go see the Avengers. I fell asleep. He ripped me to shreds. A lot of people ripped me to shreds. What are you thinking? That's the best one. It's so good. Or not the best one, but it's like, that's so good.
Yeah.
And then the other two come out, the Avengers movies. But I like the single ones. Like, I love Captain America. I love those movies, 1 and 2, or Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier is unparalleled. If that didn't have superheroes in it, that would still be one of the best action espionage movies I've ever seen.
Yes.
Ever.
Thor Ragnarok. I hope I'm saying it right. I
Incredible.
loved it.
Yep.
I thought it was so much
Dude,
fun.
Takia Waititi, incredible director,
Dude.
incredible writer, incredible film, beautiful, absolutely phenomenal. Everything about it.
Jojo Rabbit.
Dude, Jojo
Bro.
Rabbit's on a list I wrote down to mention to you. I want to make sure you'd seen it.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes. Dude, I never watched it. I tried to give the movie a chance. I couldn't get into it. This is a long time ago. But then everyone was like, hey, have you watched the show? I was like, I didn't like the movie. And then somebody was like, hey, give the show a shot. I think it's pretty funny. Bro, let me tell you, if they ended it with that, with whatever they did, I'm going to be really disappointed because I want more from that show.
Oh, yeah. But I was going to say it also exists as one of the best things to happen.
Oh, yes.
That show is just...
I got to watch the movie now. I have to give it another shot.
But that's the beauty of it is you don't have to. But you should because you'll appreciate it. But you don't have to. And I loved that they did that. You don't have to.
Oh, my God.
Because I love the film, but the show is top tier for me. I made another list just in case we talked about it. That's top 5 in my top 5 of shows I watched in the last year.
Yes.
Is in there.
Yeah.
What We Do in the Shadows. Perfect. Anyway, so so like you said,
let's go back to this. Yes. So, dude, I decided to give it another shot. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to watch the Avengers. There's already been 3 movies out. I'm going to watch the latest one. And it was with the virus, whatever. I don't know. I'm completely lost with all the...
So it goes Avengers, like the first one, right?
Yes.
Then there's Age of Ultron.
Is that the second one?
Yeah, that's the second one. That's the one that has like Ultron the robot that's like a computer virus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I watched the second one then.
Okay.
Dude, I couldn't get into it. I was like, dude,
yeah, that movie's a disappointment.
But there it is again right there. But you see what I'm saying? It's like, but everyone's like, no, dude, just do me a favor, watch, and it's like, dude, I can't.
I'm telling you. I told you it's the Marvel. Marvel was like one of the examples I was using of like this. People just have these expectations, and then they like ruin it for other people, and then they're also like, when you really analyze it, it's not that good. Now, again, I will also be this person to stand here. I'm looking at my movie shelf. I own every single one of them except for Iron Man 3. I will not buy that movie, but I own every other Marvel movie. I watch them, and there's some of them that I will fight to the death of how incredible they are. Captain America, the First Avenger. Dude, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Love it. But like, dude, just because you want them all to be amazing doesn't mean that they are. Oh yeah, the Age of Ultron is garbage. That movie's not that good.
I can't believe you said Endgame. I haven't seen it.
Sorry.
I haven't seen it. No.
And here's another reason why is because it's part 2, right? Of like the Infinity, like the first one was Infinity War. Dude, I would give that movie a 9.
Wow.
That movie is amazing. I will rewatch that over and over again. And the Endgame was trash, dude. It is not a good movie. It is just what they did and built up. They just went, and it was terrible. Visually, incredible. Like beyond parallel what they were able to physically put on the screen. So I will give it that credit all day, every day. What they did to be able to make a congregation of so many characters as a nerd and a comic book fan, dude, right? Like I got goosebumps, I got a little teary-eyed, but as a film and as an end to this saga of like 10, 11 years of storytelling, it was garbage.
I don't know if I'm supposed to feel happy or shocked. I think it's a mixture of both, and it has nothing to do with like me hating on that whole universe, but it's like, dude, I feel like this one person that's just not in on any of it, dude. And I have this weird thing about having too many chefs in the kitchen, too many cooks. I feel like there's too many. Yep. There's way too many cooks in the kitchen, dude, or head chefs. And I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but some people are like, no, dude, it's not about that. But it's like, dude, I don't know. I feel like they do way better when it's just by themselves.
Yeah.
And maybe have like, oh shoot, there's I don't know, Ant-Man rolling through with everything or whatever it is. Or what was the the third Captain America, or was that the start of it?
Civil War. Civil War.
War. How they did that was cool.
Yeah,
Spider-Man
it was a
rolling
good
through. I
That
was
was
like, dude,
fun.
that's dope.
I also think that movie was a disappointment, but it was good. It was fun.
Right, but it was cool that they did that. Nobody
Yeah, dude, it was fun.
stepped on each other, right? In terms, or I don't know. I just feel like it's just too much. I just can't handle it. I feel like any movie that you've ever seen that has too many stars in it.
Yeah,
Bro,
it's rough.
it's dicey,
like
man.
dude, like it's like the Ocean series as they went on. Like,
dude, they should have left it at the first one. That was
they should have. I mean, and listen,
movie.
I enjoyed the second one, but the first one is so unparalleled good.
Yeah,
right? It's just anyway. So yeah, so Endgame is I'm throwing it out there to the world. Haters, please like and subscribe so that you can come in and tell you how much you hate that guy.
And just so everyone knows, dude, this is like the shocker of all shockers to me, because dude, I feel like you're all in with that in terms of like anything that comes out, Marvel or whatever it is. I was at that, and I feel like it was like an unspoken thing. If you went off on it, like, dude, the Avengers, like, I just can't. I'm like, I just keep quiet because I just never wanted to hurt anyone's feelings. It's like, because I know how passionate you are, bro. I mean, dude, you had so many freaking what do you call it? The boxes of comics, and it was just like, dude, this is his passion. It's
even worse now.
Oh, I bet. But dude, just to hear you say that's like, oh man. That's the stunner of all stunners, dude.
I'm not letting the media influence the other. So when I say that opinion, I'm saying it because I'm judging that as it is, right? Like, I want it to be good. Dude, I've watched almost every Marvel movie in the theater. Almost every single one that I could go watch, right? Like, I did when the first Avengers movie came out. I won a thing through the Comic Bug where they gave me the pass to go watch the marathon of all the movies in the theater up to the release of the Avengers, and I did it. Dude, I sat there all day and did the entire thing, right? I have watched them multiple times. I've done a rewatch of the entire universe and trilogy or series, right? It's not a good movie.
Wow.
And that's why and I'm sorry, it's not a good movie. And so I know that's groundbreaking, and I'm glad you said that. It's like people out there who are like, dude, this guy's a hater. Like, you're right, I am, but I'm a fair hater.
Yeah.
Like,
ooh, I like that. A fair hater.
Yeah. I'm a fair hater. I will hate on it if it deserves hate. Like, dude, there's Star Wars stuff that I can't, like I said, I don't like Return of the Jedi. Like, I don't like the Phantom Menace. Like, I wish that movie didn't exist, right? I will argue that Attack of the Clones is the best of the prequel trilogy. Like, I have a lot of controversial opinions.
Yeah.
I don't think Batman v Superman is a great movie, but I'd watch it over Iron Man 3. Right? So yeah, I'm a fair hater. Like, I'm giving it its fair chance. And again, stepping out of that movie after I watched it in the theater on opening night, by the way, which I pre-ordered my ticket. If anybody wants, I'll show them. I think I still have it. I got like a little special ticket for it. I would be like, dude, that's a 9. And then I came off the high and I was like, that movie was not that good. Oh. And I gave it another shot. I bought it when it came out, watched it, and it just didn't do anything for me, right? So I gave it another fair shot.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, so there we are.
Man.
Yeah. So, so I gave you, what were the movies I gave you? You got to watch. What did we say? It was...
hold on. I wrote them down. Bone Tomahawk.
You gotta watch Bone Tomahawk.
Yeah. I have to finish Mandalorian.
Yep.
And The Platform.
The Platform. Dude, okay. Another movie, if you have not seen it, that I want to discuss with you. This movie got so much hate. Ooh. And I cannot figure out why. I am struggling. And everybody that I've personally talked to was like, dude, that movie was so good. And it is just destroyed across the board on Rotten Tomatoes and this and that. Bro, I love it. Love it. Underwater. With, what's her name? It's got TJ Miller in it and Kristen Stewart. Dude, Underwater.
Huh. I don't know. I'll think about that.
Please.
Is that original Mary Jane? That Kristen, right?
No, no. Kristen Stewart. She's from Twilight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
dude.
I'm thinking of Kirsten Dunst. Okay.
Yeah, Kirsten Dunst. No,
Right.
dude. Underwater.
When did that come? It came out last year?
It came out, I think, at the very end of 2019. It came out like right before the pandemic, because I remember it being like one of the last movies I think was in the theater, like that was still in the theater.
Huh.
Dude, please.
I gotta
check
see
it
what
out.
it's. I gotta see what it's streaming on. Wow. Okay.
If it's not streaming on anything, let me know. I think I may have a digital code. Maybe. I don't know if I do or not. But bro,
Okay.
it's worth it. It's worth it. I'll give you my login if I need to. It's worth it.
I'll check that out.
It's
Underwater.
Okay. I'm not going to build it up because I want to get your take on it. But
okay.
I have struggled. Just the inverse of I've struggled to figure out why people enjoy these films so much. I'm struggling to figure out why people didn't enjoy this film.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, dude, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
And I like her. Dude, I liked her.
Too.
I liked her in that movie where she was a sleeper agent.
Yeah.
With Mark Zuckerberg or whoever his name, Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg.
Right? That's all I know.
I'm trying to think. I know what you're talking about.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about, right? I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun.
That's gonna drive me crazy. I can't think of it. But dude, yeah, I like her. Like, I don't think she gets a fair chance because of Twilight, and I will be the first person to bash on Twilight. I think that's fun, but like, it also made a ton of money, so there are fans out there, right? And just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not worth something,
right?
But like, dude, Pattinson gets nothing but crap, and that is from people who have never seen that guy in anything but Twilight. He is amazing,
dude. I'm pumped for him to be Batman.
Same. I'm so excited.
Yeah, dude.
So excited.
I'm always excited to see who's gonna be the next Batman.
I am too.
Yeah.
I'm just
so curious.
I love Batfleck. There's another controversial thing for you. I thought he was one of the best Batman I've ever seen.
Wow.
His Batman?
Topping Kilmer?
Dude, first off, nobody tops Kilmer. So
he was a great Batman.
He was. No, he was good. He didn't get a fair shot because those movies were just lit, right? But even then, Joel Schumacher didn't really get a fair shot either because Hasbro was running those movies.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Well, I guess I can see that.
Do yourself a favor. There's like if I can find the link, I'll send it to you. There's an interview with him, or a couple interviews, like a little documentary type thing, where they talk about it. Like, dude, decisions were being made about the film from the toy companies. We're being told, no, you got to make it look like this. No, you got to do this. You got to add this on both of his films. Yeah. And so, like, he's apologized, dude. Joel Schumacher, like, he's been like, dude, I'm so sorry for, like, what it's done to people who got upset about this, because people are passionate, right? Especially about Batman. But like, dude, literal creative decisions were given to companies that were making merchandise. It's wild. So it's worth a watch. So you might get a different appreciation of those films. But yeah. Anyway, like, Pattinson is next level, dude. I love him. Like, I think he's so good. He's going to kill it. Yeah. I loved Affleck. Loved him. Like, honestly, I don't think there's ever been a bad Batman. Like, I don't, like, I think every casting has been worth it. Like, George Clooney, dude, he's a gorgeous human being and he can act. Like, he's a charismatic dude. He's a hell of a Bruce Wayne.
Dude. Yeah, I really can't think of a bad one.
I mean, can you think of somebody who was a bad Batman? I can think of bad Batman movies, but not a bad Batman, right?
Yeah, I can't think of a bad. I mean, Keaton killed it. Christian
Kilmer
Bale killed it.
Dude, Christian Bale killed it. Exactly. Like, dude, and again, if you whether you like the movie or not, like, or the movies that he was in, but like, Ben Affleck is a similar to a George Clooney. He's a very charismatic, playboy, good-looking guy, and even though he was playing a different style, he did it well. He played this gruffy, like, not putting on a front, like, aging, like, the Dark Knight type, like, style of, like, right? But he did it. But the scene, like, for me, dude, like, the scenes in the warehouse of Batman v Superman, where he's fighting all those guys and he is brutally fighting people. That is what I have read in comics for years. For years. Like, watching him be able to do this was incredible. Like, there's that scene where he throws a guy down in the ground and he shoots the, like, harpoon gun behind him, grabs a box and slings it over his head and it smashes into a guy's face, right? And you're like, what the hell did I just watch? And then he slams some dude so hard using, like, the guy's momentum into the ground. The guy's, like, face, like, breaks into the wooden floor. Like, dude, that's the only way this dude lives in a world with Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, dark side, right? Like he's got to be this good fighting, brutal PTSD monster.
Dude, that's Batman.
Yep. Anyway, yeah, Underwater, man. I really want to get your take on it.
I gotta
Really
check
do.
that
And
out.
hopefully, if anything else in the world, I would love to hear anybody else like come at you, like who listens to this and be like, and have given it a shot because of this.
Oh,
Like, I
dude.
want to know. I want to know.
You know what, man? I'm probably gonna get texts. I mean, unless the people want to leave comments, but like some people like listen to like anticipated movies, and they were like, "What about this one? What about this one? You forgot?" And it was like I was like, "Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. My fault." So
Yeah.
there's been a lot of like cool like I don't know. I guess people have been texting and yeah, grinding their teeth a little bit
Yeah.
about certain things. I'm like, dude, that's good. I was like, that's good. And I was and
Yeah. That's what it's supposed to do, right?
yeah, I don't know, but no, there's no
Yeah.
hate. And that's the thing that there's no hate. It's just it's whatever you're passionate about, right?
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Like I said,
Yeah,
I just hope people know I'm a fair hater. I'll hate on even
yeah,
the things that I love the most, man.
dude. I used to work with this guy at Best Buy. Rest in peace. His name was Mike City. Dude, he gave me breakdowns on why he hated Back to the Future and Goonies. And I mean, those are two like
Okay.
separate movies, but I mean, there's shirts everywhere of Goonies, and there's like Back to the,
Yeah. Of course.
and dude,
Of
he gave me
course.
breakdowns of it, and I was like, and I never was like, oh, dude, you just suck, you don't know anything or whatever. It was never that. I was always like, dude, I'm so curious on why. And
I want to know, right?
he was the first person that made me really not overreact, because the way that he said it didn't come from like a place of hate or like, oh, it's so stupid why everyone loves that. It was just like, oh, dude, I watched them when I was a kid, and it was just
Yep.
too over the top for me. It was so weird, like this family that he had, and
Right.
I couldn't get into it, and it was like everyone was such a pushover, and I was like, okay. I don't know. He just the way
Yeah.
I wish I could remember everything he said, but
Yeah.
dude, it was just it was valid. Like everything he was saying, I was like,
Good.
okay, I get it,
Yeah.
yeah. But
You,
there was never
yeah,
anything where it was like, you suck, bro. I'm never talking to you again.
right.
But I just
But that's what we're talking about, right? Is there are people that is their only reaction, and that's the only way, because it's like they take it personally. You're like, dude, hold
yes,
on. Like, again, like I've had so many people, their first reaction is, why don't you like this one? Like, dude, that's not what I said. Like,
yeah,
this has nothing to do with anything else. Like,
right,
we're talking about this, So
yeah,
yeah, yeah, you just got to step back for a moment and just take it as it is. Let it be as it is.
yeah.
So, yeah, man. So I would love to talk about those at some point. Like that'd be good. That'd be real good. I think those are some unique things we could chat about.
Bone tomahawk,
Superhero books or comic books, right?
dude. And it doesn't have to. I mean, dude, you told me
Yeah.
about
So
uh
I, I think I can do this. What I can do is I can give a recommendation for people who like, man, I love superheroes. I want to know more about superheroes, and I can give some recommendations for people who are like, I've never really read comics and want to know like what are comics that aren't superheroes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a perception of comic books in the world that it's like they're for kids, or they're this and that. No, like, dude, like there are some things out there that will change how you think about the world. You know,
mm,
and so I'll give a couple of those recommendations too. So if you're into superhero books, right? Like you're like, man, I just love superheroes and I love seeing stuff, and I love capes and crime fighting and mysteries and all that stuff. Cool. Some great reads that I tend to recommend to people is first and foremost, I love the X-Men, right? Like I love the X-Men characters. I love what they stand for, equality and all the struggles in the world, right? And but I will say this, there are more X-Men comics out there than probably most things, and it is sometimes hard to find really good. And it's also it's very scary to jump into comic books because people are always like, do I start at number one? Do I
right,
start here? Because these companies also jump all around. Like you'll find 13 number ones, but it doesn't, it doesn't mean anything. So I'll give a couple recommendations of like of stories and runs or years and writers to look for. Okay.
okay,
So 2010, Rick Remender hit the scene. Him and Jerome Pena, the guy I was telling you about was at that Nashville
yeah,
show, did a comic book series called Uncanny X-Force. And I think
mm,
I might have recommended this to
you
you.
have,
Maybe.
yes,
I was going to say, I tend to recommend this to like anybody that will give me 15 minutes to talk about comic books. This This is it. If you never read another X-Men book, if you never read another Marvel book, I recommend you read this. Just pick it up. It takes a couple of characters that have these just really horrendous tropes that some people think, and it just completely changes those characters. It takes so the quick overall story is Wolverine puts together a team of characters to do the jobs and things that the regular X-Men won't do because they're considered too violent or too gritty or too slipping into the bad guy type trope, right? So he puts together almost like a secret group of like, hey, if this needs to be done, we'll just go do it because we're not afraid to get our hands dirty. Okay. So the team is Wolverine, Deadpool, Angel, Psylocke, and Phantom X. Okay. It is the best written Deadpool that I have ever seen in a comic book.
Wow.
It takes this character that, and dude, you know me. You know I have loved Deadpool for years.
Yeah.
Right? Like we talked about it. I recommended that to you.
Oh, yeah.
I've been reading Deadpool for years before that, right? I loved it when it was Daniel Way writing. Dude, I loved it when even Mark Waid wrote it way back in the day with the Circle Chase. Loved it. It took this character that's very well known as like a jokey, you know, fourth wall breaking thing, and really you don't lose that, but you start to understand that this is a very damaged human being.
Yeah.
Like kind of what I was talking about, the Batman, like PTSD, you get a lot of that out of this. Of like, dude, this guy is like, man, he's like messed up. And it hits you right off the bat too. The first 4 issues of this series, just, whoa. It takes Wolverine and the same thing. This dude is similar to Batman. Logan Wolverine has more trauma than probably anyone else in any universe because he's lived so long, right? Like he's had a lot of trauma in his life, and it takes that and really just plays into it, moves into it. Angel, who also at this time is Archangel, which for people who don't know, he was spoilers. He was corrupted by Apocalypse, and it would basically made a separate entity. It's almost like a split personality where he's literally like Angel or Archangel, and Archangel is this dark, gritty, really monstrous character. Instead of having these beautiful angel wings, he has metallic, like big dark wings. It's crazy, right? So it takes this character, and Angel was one of the founding members of the X-Men in comics. People don't realize that. They always think it's from the movies. It's Cyclops, it's Wolverine. No, Angel was one of the founding members. It takes, and basically the best way I could describe it is his character arc is him being unprogrammed from being this militaristic, mind-controlled soldier of the X-Men, and like dials that back. And it's like him coming to terms with realizing like, what have I been doing for years, being part of this like brainwashed X-Men league? It's wild. Wow. They take Psylocke. She's just been this really like sexualized like character, and make her into this just incredibly don't be messed with. Like you can't really put your finger on like where does she fall in the line of good and bad, like badass character.
Yeah.
And this character named Phantom X, who he literally has 2 minds. He has 2 brains, and it's like wild to see this character integration. And like, dude, I can't. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome. I cannot recommend that series enough. It was started in 2010. It went for like 30 something issues.
Wow.
The art is next level. Jerome Pena is one of the best artists out there in the world. I will put it to anyone. He is just incredible. And Rick Remender is one of the best writers out there. He did a series that's about to be a TV show called Fear Agent, Last American Bastard. A couple other books I'll probably recommend. He wrote them. He was the guy who did the Venom run I told you that got me like back into comics.
Yeah.
So amazing. 2011, Jeff Johns, at the launch of the DC New 52, they relaunched almost every series and every character, right? Including Aquaman.
Yes, I remember. I read some.
Yes, Aquaman's relaunch with Jeff Johns writing. You had Ivan Reis and Joe Prado doing art and colors. Is just, I cannot recommend it enough. The first, I think, segment is called The Trench. It is dark, it's gritty, and it makes people finally understand why Aquaman is like my favorite character of all time, because you get to actually see who he is and what he is and why he's so prolific and different than every other character that's out there. Like, he is a man stuck between two worlds and two responsibilities, with powers he didn't ask for, with people who hate him on both sides, people trying to kill him on both sides, people who don't understand him, and he's just incredible. And he has these loyalties, and it's awesome. So can't recommend enough. Jeff Johns' New 52 run on Aquaman, absolutely amazing. In that same token, as I'm sure most people know, this is a good jumping on point that most people get recommended now, is Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's Batman New 52 run. Right.
I read a few of those issues. Yeah, yes. They're really good.
Cannot recommend it enough. It is mind-blowing what they did. It's incredible. The art is just next level. Scott Snyder is one of the most prolific writers out there in the world right now. He's up there with Rick Remender. Whatever he touches. He did a book called American Vampire, if anybody ever gets a chance to read it. Incredible. He did a book called The Wake, which was like a 9-issue series. Anyway, so good. You want to read some incredible Batman that's not like, hey, I want to go back and read some like 70s and 80s. There you go. Like there's some amazing Batmans I can recommend, like Batman The Long Halloween, Gotham by Gaslight, some other cool stuff. But dude, it's so good. And it goes on. If you like it, when you first read the first kind of grouping of it, it keeps going. It went for, I think their run was like something like 40 to 50 issues, and it's just so good.
Wow.
2012, a book came out called Thor: God of Thunder, written by Jason Aaron with art by Esed Rebeck. Dude, that is one of the most strongest and incredible and continuingly impressive books that Marvel has done in probably the last 20 years. It started and it kept going and going, and even through different iterations, it spawned other books that were also being written by him. In fact, a lot of the stuff he did is still impacting things that are happening right now in the Marvel universe. And there are things that people are going back and just finding out and discovering, like, holy crap, like this, they did this. The new Thor movie is basing a lot of the story off of his run.
Okay.
So cannot recommend it enough. And just keep reading. Read as far as you can. It's like 100-something issues they did.
Damn.
It's so good.
Dude,
yeah, I'm telling you, dude, it's wild. It's absolutely wild. And any of these, I recommend, please, people, support your local comic book shops. You can find great deals. You can also, there's a lot of great services. You can do Comixology. You can do Marvel, I think they call it now, right? Like great services to do it. Get your comic books, pay for them. It's great. It's a medium that deserves it. There's a lot of people putting their blood, sweat, and tears into it.
Yeah.
Obviously, my finger's close to the pulse. I know a lot of people in the industry that, that's all they do it because they love it. So anyway, cannot recommend that enough. Thor just it'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. The first saga is called The God Butcher. So like right off the bat, that should get you like, ooh, I want to know what that means, right? So, yeah, exactly. 2011. They relaunched IDW, got the rights and relaunched, I think they already had the rights, but they relaunched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And Kevin Eastman came back to write, and with a guy named Tom Waltz. And it's still going right now. There's different writers on it now, but the series is actually still going, and it's still just getting crazier and better. The issues are getting more expensive because they're getting more popular. Do yourself a favor. Go back and read where it started. It is wild and incredible. And I am, from a little kid, die-hard Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan.
Yeah.
Everything I can have, everything I can watch. I'll argue all day that TMNT 3, the movie, is one of the best movies of all time.
You need to settle down. Dude, you got to settle down with that. Come on,
I got to calm down. Dude, I love it. It's so good. Come on. I'm just invalidating. Every time I build something up, I like to invalidate myself really quickly.
Wait, are you talking about the one where they're going back in time, or are you talking about the animated one?
Where they go to feudal Japan. No, where they go to feudal Japan and they time travel, bro. It's so good. Anyway, TMNT. Read it. It's amazing. There's a lot of story arcs where you can just jump in and not be lost if you want to jump into maybe some of the newer ones, because they kind of revamp some stuff, introduce new characters. It's great. I am, and Johnny, you can speak to this, I am a diehard Hellboy fan. Hellboy is up there, top 2, top 3 all time, anything. But it can definitely be hard to jump into Hellboy because, and not even until recently was it really super clear sometimes of like the chronological timeline. So there's a kind of not a standalone, but like a single story I recommend people read. Just check it out. And maybe you'll like it. Maybe you'll like Hellboy. I would recommend you read anything you can get on Hellboy. It's so good. But It's called Conqueror Worm. Really great story. Pretty short read. It's only it's a small trade that you can pick up called the Conqueror Worm. Highly recommend it. I won't. There's not a lot I can give without giving away a bunch. If you've never really experienced Hellboy, I love for people to experience it, not knowing anything, even if it's just the movies, like because it will totally catch you off guard. Hopefully you'll love him. Mike Mignola is just without question one of my all-time favorite artists and creators. Anything he touches and does, I just googly-eyed over.
Oh yeah.
And he's been crushing it for years. And 2015, they relaunched Hawkeye with Matt Fraction writing and David Aja doing the art. And in fact, the new Hawkeye TV show is now being based off of what they did in this series.
Whoa.
And Matt Fraction is a hell of a writer. So I cannot recommend it enough. It's campy. It's funny. It's just, they introduce a dog as a main character. It's just so fun. And the art is so cool. Some of the panels that David Aja did will blow your freaking mind. Like how he fit this into a comic book.
Wow.
Yeah, it's real good stuff. So they're more recent. This is kind of a newer one, but I also really love Tom King did. I think this was like out of 2017, something like that. Maybe I could be getting that wrong, but he did The Vision. And for anybody who's now kind of jumping into Wanda and The Vision, go check this out. Go check out The Vision. You'll be pleasantly surprised. This character is very deep and a very interesting character in ways you can take it and the things that he struggles with as a character in this universe. And it's definitely well worth a read. So, and Tom King is if you get bored, go just research this dude. He's a wild guy. I think it was like, it's either the CIA or something like that, but he used to work for them and then started deciding he wanted to write comic books.
Wow.
Right? So yeah, it's
cool.
wild. So, he's a real crazy guy. He took over Batman there for a little while and has written a couple other things, but go check out The Vision. Really great series. The last one I'll do for superheroes is, and I would, just because I really want people to experience this, like before something happens, is go check out Moon Knight. There was a series by Moon Knight. I want to say there's been a ton. It was a few years ago, but it was by Warren Ellis and Declan Shalvey, or Shalavy. I can never say his name right. Or her name. Go check it out. Like, it's awesome. Moon Knight is basically Marvel's Batman, and but supernatural. Without spoiling it, he has split personality, and so he battles with that this whole time. He has the ancient power of, like, again, without ruining things, it's essentially Egyptian powers. It's crazy. There's a character in the Marvel universe named Taskmaster, who his ability, which you guys will see in the new Black Widow movie, his ability is that he can copy anyone's fighting style to be able to be competitive against them, right? Essentially, like, it's hard to fight him because he can fight you exactly the way you would. And the only person he said that he would never copy their powers or fight would be Moon Knight, because Moon Knight would rather get stabbed or shot or killed before he hurt certain people. So he would never try to jump into that guy's mind and understand how to do how he thinks he did. Like, it's really crazy.
Whoa. Damn.
And so it's wild. So yeah, and then there's always, of course, Watchmen. Going back and reading Alan Moore, David Gibbons, Watchmen series. If you want to experience what it really is and why it was so groundbreaking and controversial, go check out Watchmen. You can pick up that trade like anywhere now at this point. Again, it probably comes with sample packets of Tide.
Dude, I think I have it.
You probably do. Everybody probably does at this point.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's good. It comes with Frigidaire, like, appliances when you buy a new house. Like, there's just a copy of Watchmen inside, like, the stove. But it's good. Yeah. So the last couple things is, if you're not into, like, superheroes, like, oh man, I want to see what comic books could do that aren't superheroes. But why are people into comic books? Because, dude, as you know, that's like, there's way more non-superhero books, I think, than there are superhero books. And some of them are just insane. One of the first ones I'll always recommend to people is, it's called Revolver. And it's written by a guy named Matt Kint. I will give you nothing about the story. I want you to just read it. I promise you'll enjoy it. It is nuts. It's nuts. And it's a really good stepping point into comics that aren't comic books.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Revolver.
Revolver. You'll, yeah, yeah, it's good. I can't say much more without really giving away anything, but it's so good. Um, I recommend a book called Persepolis. And a lot of people have probably heard of this. They made like an animated movie out of it. Um, it is about a young girl who grows up during and after the Islamic Revolution in Iran and Australia, or not Australia, sorry, Austria.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, it's written by a lady named Marjane Satrapi. It's beautiful. It is monumental. It is groundbreaking. Um, it's just, it's emotional.
Yeah.
It's really good. And all it is just a story of this girl's like her growing up. So I highly recommend it. This one is probably, a lot of people would probably say it, but they forget that it's a comic book. Like it's important because it is a comic. It's a graphic novel. It's called Mouse, Maus.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. It's written by Art Spiegelman. Dude, it's the only comic book to ever win a Pulitzer Prize. It won a Pulitzer Prize in
Wow.
1992. And it's about his grandfather's experience in a concentration camp in World War II. But it's written as with the characters are animals. Like
Right.
the innocent folks are mice, and then the Nazis are pigs and like other things. Like, so it's got this comic booky feel, but it is one of the most it's an emotional roller coaster. And if you don't come out of that like just all kinds of feelings, like I don't even know what to recommend to you. Go pick it up. There's 2 volumes. I obviously pick up both, but definitely read the first volume. It changed me. I remember I read that. I don't know why it was there, but it was in my library in elementary school, and I remember picking it up because it had
Wow.
cartoons on the front. And I picked it up
Yeah.
and read it as a kid in elementary school, and it just changed me. Like it was like, what just happened? And I didn't even fully understand it then. But going back over years and rereading it, it's rough. It's rough, but it's great. It's an absolute necessity that you through that medium, right? And that medium helps deliver that message way differently than anything else.
Yeah.
Um, so cannot again recommend that enough to people. Um, there's a horror series written by Scott Snyder. There's only 6 issues right now, but it's called Witches, Wytches, and it's written by Scott Snyder, and the art is by my favorite artist of all time. He goes by name Jock, Jock. You should check it out. It is creepy. The art is insane. The story is nuts. It's a very unique take on what witches are and what they could be as creatures. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
So highly, highly, highly recommend that. You said Saga earlier. I think a lot of people would probably like Saga.
Yes.
Another one I recommend a lot is called Chew. It's written by, I think I might have recommended that to you at some point.
Yeah, you have. That sounds really familiar.
Yeah, right. So there's going to be a TV show about it, like coming up soon. I can't remember who it was optioned by. It's been optioned for a little while, unfortunately, but it's pretty nuts, and it's pretty easy to go pick up and like figure out or be able to pick it up now and trade or collections because it's been around for a while. I think it came out in like 2009. So it's the basic premise is it's set in a world where like chicken and other like bird meats are all illegal because of a big like bird flu type like catastrophe outbreak that killed like millions and millions and millions of people, right? There's a cop that he has the ability, essentially, if he eats the flesh of someone, he psychically has the ability to like understand and see things. So I won't give more than that, but like
Whoa.
if he chews on a body, he can see things that like happen to that body. So he uses it to solve crime. It's wild.
Wow.
Wild. Yeah. So real good story. The last 2 that I'll recommend, you already said East of West, so I'm not going to recommend that. People should already know about that. Like, it's, man, what a great read. Manifest Destiny, and I definitely think I recommended that to you. It is a it's an alternate like timeline historical fiction of like the Lewis and Clark expedition across the U.S.
Oh, that's right. I think I have a trade of that. That's right. Okay.
And it's so good because it's this alternate history take, of them going across the U.S. Like, right, so Lewis and Clark, but it's because there are wild, fantastical creatures that live in the wilderness, and their job is to go through and clear the way for the U.S. to expand westward. Like, it's so good and
Whoa.
so weird, and it's awesome. And the artwork is incredible, and the story just gets weirder and weirder and cooler. I'm a sucker for like alternate timeline stuff.
Yeah.
And then the last one I recommend it's called Black Science.
Oh, I was waiting for that. I was
Yeah,
waiting
I
for
knew
you to
you were.
recommend that.
I bet you were. Same thing. If you give me 10 minutes, I'll talk your ear off. And dude, it just ended finally. It just ended.
Wow.
Yeah. Just incredible. Again, written by Rick Remender. Dude kills everything he touches. Art by a guy named Matteo Scalera, who is just, as soon as you see it, you'll just be sucked in by the art alone.
Yeah.
Johnny, I don't even know what I can say without giving away stuff other than it's one of the coolest, most unique time travel type wormhole sci-fi stories you could totally. It's like if what is that? Now I'm drawing a blank. Danger Will Robertson, right?
Lost in Space?
That? Lost in Space. If it's like Lost in Space mixed with like 2001 Space Odyssey and like Alien. Like, if you threw all those together, wild.
I think I
Definitely
read
recommend
the
it.
first 2 issues at your place.
Probably.
Yeah.
Again, if you gave me like 10 minutes, I would have recommended it.
Yeah, I remember you were like, look, here's the deal. I remember you go, these
That's probably how I started most conversations.
Yeah, I remember you're like, hey, I would let you borrow anything here, but these, I gotta keep them here, but you can read them here. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't care. Yeah, that's cool. And I was like, okay, here, I just can't let these, because I think they're like first, what is?
Oh yeah, they're just, I fell in love with it. Yeah, first print.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, first print, first stitch.
And I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, let's read it. Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. So these are what I would consider good gateway drugs for people who want to get into different types of storytelling, right?
Yeah.
And there's billions more out there I could recommend. And like, I like this, then you would probably like this. My good friend Richard Starkings would probably kill me if I didn't end this by recommending also anybody out there read Elephant Men. One of the coolest. That's right. One of the coolest things of all time.
Yeah.
It's near and dear to my heart, obviously. But it is if you love Blade Runner, you would like, even if you're just interested in that type of stuff, you would love Elephant Men. Crazy storyline. Basically, in the future, there are genetically created hybrid human animals that were created to fight a war between China and Africa. And after the war, they're considered humans, right? They're hybrid human animals. And so it's about their integration back into society and like people who hate them, because Elephant Men is actually like a derogatory term. Like, it's like, these Elephant Men, because people know them as violent killing war machines that were created.
Yeah.
But they're trying to live like their lives. And so the story, for the most part, follows a couple main characters, one being a detective who it solves crimes against Elephant Men. And so phenomenal story, incredibly written, wonderful guy who creates the series named Richard Starkings. Go check it out on Comixology. They were one of the first to help launch Comixology with Comixology Originals. And it's an ongoing, it used to be printed by Image Comics, and now they do it digitally through Comixology. So, but yeah, man, I know it's a lot. So sorry to everybody still sticking with us. I appreciate it.
No, dude, this is freaking, this is gold, dude. This is awesome.
But I know I owed that to your cousin, so.
I know, dude. You know what? I want to have him leave comments, because he's like, dude, I have questions. And I was like, oh man, I was like, you better get them to me for Saturday, but he didn't give me anything. I think he was asking about the Fantastic Four. He's been kind of all over the place with what he wanted to watch, but he's been.
Tell him Jonathan Hickman's recent run on Fantastic Four is pretty phenomenal. So.
Right there. Oh, dude, he's gonna listen. That's right there. Yep. He's probably gonna message you under the comments, be like, dude, what else? Give me more.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Dude, this has been awesome, man. Holy crap, dude! It's been way too long.
Oof, yeah, you're not wrong. We definitely got to do it again.
Yeah, or definitely do it again.
When we all survive this nonsense, man, you got to come out here to Nashville, check it out. I'll take you to McKay's.
Dude, so. Nashville dates, dude. Nashville dates.
Yeah, they call it Nash Vegas, man.
Nash Vegas? I like
Nash
that.
Vegas, yeah.
Dude.
So, yeah, and then I want to make it back out to the West Coast, man. I've never been to San Jose, and you always tell me to go. You
Oh,
always tell me I
dude.
should come.
Dude, it's like NyQuil, dude. You're just gonna want to pass out. Be like, oh, that's cool.
Good, I love it. That's the best vacation, bro. We'll just watch Breaking Bad.
Oh, dude.
Watch Blindness.
Dude, do you know what I was gonna do was before we sign out, a couple of people asked me like, hey, dude, who's Mark? Who is that? All right, going back to Mark. Sorry, Mark. I'm gonna have to change your name. You're gonna be
Dude, he's gonna be like your what's his name from Conan, Andy, what's his name?
Oh, dude, Andy Richter. He's gonna be
Andy
my Matt Damon to Jimmy Kimmel, right? We didn't give enough time for Matt Damon.
Actually, he's more like your Paul Rudd to Conan, where he's just gonna bring in the Mac and Me video every time.
Dude, I love that. I love that. Dude, but everyone asked like, hey, where'd you meet him at? And they're like, oh, dude, you should have added that. And I probably should have done it a long time, or I should have done it in the beginning. But do you remember our first interaction? Do you remember that at all?
You and me?
Yeah. Because we were like introduced, but it was like, oh, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, new person. Okay, cool. Right.
I remember meeting you because you transferred and you were working in appliances, right? And I remember meeting you.
Yeah.
And I remember you like you were kind of like quiet because obviously it was a new store,
sure.
like new people.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember what our first interaction. I'm so excited.
Oh,
I'm so
dude,
excited
I remember it very well. Right.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay. Store was already closed, right? And you came, and I was working at customer service because that's Stephanie wanted me at customer service.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And you came up, and you're like, "Hey, dude, can you ring me out?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, come over." And there was nobody there, so I rang you out, and then I was looking at what you got, and I grabbed the game, and I go, "Bro, this is one of the most underrated games I've ever played."
Oh, I think I remember what it was now.
What game was it?
Was it Ghostbusters?
It was Ghostbusters.
Dude, it was Ghostbusters.
Hey,
now
and
I remember.
you lifted up your arms and you're like, right here, this guy knows.
Yes.
He knows what he's talking about. And then I was like, and then I go, dude, I've tried to tell so many people to play that game, dude. And then you were like, thank you. I don't understand. This game's so good. And dude, you got so hyped on it. And then I was like,
hyped on that game.
And then I was like, the only thing I don't like is I wish it was multiplayer. Like, I wish you can play with other people, right? And then you're like, dude, I 100% agree. And then I was like, hey, man, we'll talk more. And you're like, all right, dude, see ya.
Yes.
And then that was it. That was like our first real, like, interaction, like, nerdy interaction with each other. Yeah.
I remember that vividly now. I was like, dude, somebody else knows about this game. I'm so excited. This guy knows what's up.
That was like our first meet and greet. And dude, I was just like, oh, okay, cool, man. This guy's cool. Yeah. But yeah, dude, it was just yeah, man. It's just been too long and
I agree.
And
I
again,
agree,
we're going back to Andy Richter, dude, but dude, if it wasn't for him just being like, dude, let's do this. Let's do it. Come on, let's record something. Dude, we probably wouldn't be doing this freaking almost 4-hour conversation right now.
Listen, I love that kid, man. I love it.
Man.
I love it.
It's been awesome.
Maybe next time we'll get all three. That'll be a nightmare.
Dude.
And again, I won't say anything. I will just comment on anything Mark says.
Dude, and I'll be in the background just saying, message. The whole time.
Good. So good.
Man, this has been fun,
this is
dude.
great, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me on, dude. This is fun.
Thanks for being on, dude.
Oh man, like I said, I'd love to do a follow up because I want to. I just got to get your take. I got to get your take on some of these, and any of the people out there listening who have comments, we want to hear it, man.
Dude.
Like I want to know people who go watch Sunshine now.
I want to know.
That's what I want.
I want to know the people that loved Endgame.
Ooh, dude, wait. I'm sorry. I'm already sorry for your
Wait. I think that's like 99.8% of the people in the world.
I was gonna say, other than me, you're about to get hate from literally anybody who hears this. Like, dude, that's the same thing I feel for Parasite. You're about to get it from people like, what are you talking about?
Come on, dude.
That guy's never even seen a movie.
You probably watched it on VHS, dude.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you watch it reel to reel, it sucks.
Oh, dude,
man.
that's so good. Oh,
Thank
man.
you.
Dude, sorry,
fun,
dude.
man.
It's almost 8 o'clock. Holy crap, dude.
Don't worry about it. I love it. This is great. I love
Next
it.
time we're going to go for 6 hours, dude.
Marathon it. Longer than what we do is I need to make up the amount of hours I wasted watching Endgame. So we've got a lot.
Is it really that long of a movie?
It's a long movie, and I watched it more than once.
Oh my god. Dude, that's crazy.
Oh man.
Dude.
Yep.
It was good chatting,
Love it,
man.
man. Dude, thank you,
We gotta
brother.
do
This
this
is
again.
great. Absolutely, man.
In case
Absolutely.
I missed it, your birthday's coming up too, man. So happy early
Oh yeah,
birthday.
yeah. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
Yep,
dude.
yep. My pandemic birthday. I'm
Dude.
actually playing Dungeons and Dragons on that night.
Are you seriously?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, dude.
I play two games. I play with some artist friends that I have. We play remote. You know, there's like you can do it over Skype and stuff.
Oh man, that's
And
awesome.
then I DM a game for my siblings and my brother's girlfriend, and then my sister's coworkers.
Dude,
We'll
that's
talk about
so
that next time.
oh, that's so cool. You
All
actually
right.
maybe the next one you can give a breakdown of it cuz dude, I am like I have no clue.
Oh, let me do it. I would love to explain to
Yeah.
you. Like I got it. I would love, dude. I'll get you. So I'll maybe we'll do a game one day
Oh,
for you and
dude.
Mark, and
I
we'll
wouldn't
record it.
that dude, it's going to be sad. It's going to be sad on
That'll be
my
great.
part, bro.
No, it won't. It'll be great. You're one of the most creative dudes I know,
I
so
don't
it'll
know,
be
man.
great.
We'll see. Oh,
Listen,
man.
if the punishment is if you don't do it, then we're just going to talk about blindness. So might as well jump in.
All right. I see the light. I will play that game then.
There you go. I won't cyberpunk you. I promise. I
Oh,
won't.
dude, that's perfect. That's the best way to. Dude, nobody's gonna get
Yep.
cyberpunked. No more,
Nobody's gonna get cyberpunk. That's the episode. There it is.
dude. Cyberpunked. Oh
Cyberpunk,
man.
man.
All right.
Oh, brother.
All
All
right,
right,
dude.
man. It's
Have
good
a good
talking
one,
to you,
man.
buddy. You too, buddy.
All right, dude.
See ya.
Later.